is
I
we
think we're
went
live.
on near the internet.
Near?
We're internet adjacent.
You're always near the internet.
How can be?
All right.
Creepy
Are
sentence.
are you near the internet, or is the internet near you?
Yes.
Yes. Also on.
Alternatively, are
Slightly-
you on the internet, or is the internet on
It's
you?
on you.
It's on you.
It's in
Oh,
you.
the internet is definitely on you.
It's all there.
Sometimes I'm not sure if I want it on me.
Court, you have some internet on you.
Ah, shit. Did it miss?
Oh no, that's what it was aiming for.
That's not what it said.
That sounded a little gross.
You have
What?
to have it.
Something.
on you.
Wait, small tidbit. I found out on the internet about. Well, not about the internet, but the same person who wrote.
Internetception?
Yeah.
Same person who wrote. I'm pretty sure it was "Let It Go" from Frozen. Wrote "The Internet Is for Porn" from Avenue Q.
That's amazing.
Same guy.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Love
That's
it.
like a very.
That's
It's a very broad portfolio.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a yeah.
Yep. I just had
Yeah,
to
you
like
know,
let everyone
that
know as we went
shows-
live doing that.
That shows versatility,
Mhm.
and I approve. I think it's cool. All right,
It's a
I'm
really
not
good
going to
call.
take off the headset this time because
That's
my head's
okay.
already kind of hurting just a little bit from my booster. But hello, everyone, and welcome to Decisions and Dragons. When last we left our intrepid heroes, after nearly losing one of their own to some air elementals that had attacked their airship that they had been traveling on to Vasselheim, they made landfall and were immediately greeted by some of the bastions of Vasselheim and led to speak with the Dawn Marshals about their mission, about the state of the world, and about what's going on as a whole. You informed the Dawn Marshals of what was all happening. They had informed you that one Sean Gilmore stands accused of breaking into the Cobalt Vault to steal the third piece of the manuscript that our heroes have been searching for. Therefore, adding a little bit more urgency to this rescue mission to bring him back home. The Dawn Marshals had stated that they will support your mission with whatever supplies that you need. Unfortunately, they couldn't supply manpower, as the majority of it were helping with recovery efforts for Pyra and for Vesra. You began to make your exit when one Dawn Marshal, one Pike Trickfoot, had approached and had admitted that she had a very close connection with Gilmore and essentially made you promise that you would bring him back safely, offering a blessing to Cadriel before you were all let out. You were led to a tavern over in the nicer, more nature-based district of the city. You were led inside, where there was a dwarven male with with a balding head and no beard, who was arranging your rooms. At this point, it's approaching maybe 6 or 7 in the evening. This tavern is a little bit more rustic. It's got a large fireplace set in the corner. There are huge kegs of ale behind the counter. A few tables strewn about, and it's not too terribly busy at this time. But it definitely has a warmer atmosphere as you guys are inside. What would you like to do?
That whole
Um,
was terrifying. All of the things that just happened.
so just to make sure that I have my facts straight, we're looking to set out on this grand adventure first thing in the morning, right? Okay. And I'm sorry, what time of day is it? It's like
6 or 7
mid-late.
in the evening.
Okay.
And given that this is a far more north part of the world, the sun is already far past sunset. So it is
Okay.
dark out at this point.
I will head up to the bar and order a round of drinks and inquire if there's any rooms.
Right.
I think
think they
were-
gave us rooms,
They were
actually.
Mhm.
covering rooms.
They did give us
Mhm.
rooms, didn't
Yeah.
Yes. You do, though, approach the bar, and you can see the dwarf sort of shuffle his way back from the hall where it's very clear that these rooms are kept. And he positions himself behind the bar and says, "Hi, yes, sorry, I was preparing your rooms. The Dawn Marshals stated that they were covering the charges, so I think you'll find them to your liking. Is there anything else that you would need?"
A round of drinks of whatever your most popular beverage is.
Wonderful. Give me just a moment. And you see he turns and takes out steel tankards and fills them with one of the big casks of ale. I don't think I ever really... I'm not Mercer. I don't have just a list of drinks. Drink names. Fantasy drink... Actually, no, fantasy name generators might have something. That's right. I am devoting
Probably
time to
do.
it.
Shout out to fantasy name generators.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lifesaver of all DMs.
Cheers.
Where the hell is it though? We will call it the totally terrible at this. You guys are watching.
Probably like
Oh,
something.
is that what
it's
your
probably
house
something,
beverage is called? Maybe something different.
It's probably like Troll's Toe Ale or something like that. Like, sounds
I just
delicious.
see places like God's Juice or something, right? I don't know. This place is weird.
I was gonna say like Wild
They
Mother's
like Jesus a
Blessing.
lot.
I was just gonna say Jesus juice, but that's probably inappropriate. So,
This one is called the Honey Paralyzer. You see that
Nice.
it's still got the froth of being ale, but looking kind of peeking through as the froth sort of parts, you see a much more amber sort of honey looking liquid. And he sort of slides them all across the bar in front of you and says, I do unfortunately still have to charge for drinks, but it'll be about 3 silver for all of them.
Of course, I pull out just a handful of coins.
How many coins do you pull out?
I probably give him like 5 silver. Yeah, these are silver here.
Okay.
At least they were just silver.
Only had to count to 3, but you did tip really well, so that's fine. That's fine.
Problem with having an accountant in your group is that exact scenario.
What precisely is the paralyzing agent in this?
Oh, that's just yeah, they call it paralyzer because it's so delicious it stops you in your tracks. I'm not good with the salesman talk.
Okay, no, that's fine. I appreciate the explanation.
Yeah.
He visibly is at the moment
Right.
visibly less concerned.
Looking actually behind the bar at the cask that they'd pulled the drinks from, you notice that it is noticeably cleaner and a little bit more out there in terms of advertising. Like you see Honey Paralyzer sort of inscribed on the cask, and then everything else, every other bottle, every other cask of ale kind of looks like your standard tavern stuff. So just know it looks a little out of place versus the rest of the
By
offerings.
the fact that it has a label.
It has a label. The wood is a little bit nicer on the cask itself. It looks a little ostentatious compared to everything else. But you all, enjoy your drink. It is, it's nothing that special, but it's definitely got a pleasant honey aftertaste after you imbibe yourselves. What was this dude's name? See, this is why you have me as a DM, so I can be like, I don't know what the hell this place is.
Welcome to me
Dagon?
DMing
I thought it was
anything.
Dagon.
Yeah.
Dagon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Dagon. Dagon says, do you need any food or anything for the evening? Is there anything else that I can provide? Unfortunately, I do have some repair work to do for some of the tables, but if there's anything else you need.
Repair work.
Probably.
I'll make you a deal. If you start on food, and I'm happy to look at those tables for you.
All right. Let me just show you where they are then. It leads you to a corner of the room that's kind of tucked away, so you can't quite see it very easily from the front door. You see that there are 3 tables that have either, table legs are completely snapped off. The tables themselves are dented in or splintered in some parts. There's a bit of a brawl that kind of broke out a few days ago. I'm trying my best to get to it, but it's a little difficult when I don't have the time. So, yeah, I mean, I'll happily do an even trade if you want to work on these, and I'll just get you guys some food. Anything you guys are looking
Sure.
for?
What's on the menu? I turn to the group. We don't have any dietary restrictions, do we?
I mean, I like vegetables.
I've been told restrictions and preferences are 2 different things.
What is happening?
We're eating.
What's happening is Cujo said, "Is there anything you guys would like in particular?" referring to food. And now Cujo is internally screaming at himself for even asking instead of just having food.
Your warmest and heaviest food, please.
I can do that.
She said.
I'll get right to it. Give me just a little bit, and I'll be right back. And you see he kind of rushes off behind the counter and disappears into the kitchen.
Arthea, did you ever get that crossbow you wanted?
No, I did not. I didn't have time before we left Westrun and Amon, for that matter.
We could always find one here. You're probably likely to find one here at any other place.
We might have to go.
I actually am gonna. Well, at some point, I'm supposed to hand over our books to the Cobalt Soul.
Aren't they supposed to
before
come
we
here?
leave.
Yeah.
I think that's what they said, is that they would come here, but honestly, at that point in the conversation, there was sort of this buzzing noise in the back of my head, and I think that was just the absolute terror of standing there in front of all those people. So,
Fair.
I might have missed something.
I feel pretty good after whatever. That shield. Am I glowing still?
You're not. Well, make a perception check.
Disadvantaged because there's a bright light in your eyes. Like inside your eyes.
Literally.
You're just cyclopsing all over the place. Just everything is lit.
Pew pew
Wherever you
pew
look.
pew. 10.
The 10? You're not glowing necessarily, but occasionally you do see this kind of shimmer of light. Almost like there's this arcane field that sort of presents itself. Just this little flash of gold that sometimes sort of flashes right in front of you, but then fades from sight.
Feels pretty. Like I
Maybe
could take a hit.
might sparkle in the sunlight.
You see Thurston's hand like reach, like he wants to poke at it because he's thinking it's still happening. Like we've walked all the way here, but this magical effect is still going on. Like he's just like in awe, like holy crap, like that's powerful magic that he like kind of wants to like touch it. But he also knows that if he pokes Cad, he will lose a finger, so he's not going to.
I poke her all
I mean,
the
maybe
time.
not the whole finger.
I mean, I poke her all the time, and I still have all the fingers.
She likes you the most.
It's not true.
Stella definitely does.
It's 100% true.
Stella does peer out from like around your neck and just sort
yeah.
of like also eyes the shimmer going across Cad, and the pupils like dilate super wide for a second.
Yeah, she's got a little sparkle, a little extra.
And then
sparkle.
she blinks and then snaps out of it and then like nuzzles into
Oh.
Arthea's head.
Oh. Do we have everything we need for this trek?
We have.
Do we have food? We have enough. We don't. Okay.
I think so. Well,
I have this.
I don't know.
I
what
have
we-
this vague map that doesn't really have distances on it.
We just know the
I
mount.
don't-
We just know the end point. We don't know how long
Yeah.
it's gonna take us to
So
get there.
I mean, I was gonna ask if the Cobalt Soul is showing up. Hopefully, maybe they can at least give us an estimate. I mean, I don't want to get all the way out in the middle of the tundra to discover that we brought enough food for half the trip. I'm not even sure there's villages up there. Nothing's marked, at least on this thing.
Maybe we should stock up on some more rations and go find you that crossbow.
Rations and a mode of transportation, at least to get
Yeah.
us part of the way.
Well, they were
They-
gonna provide horses for
Yeah,
us.
we were gonna get horses.
Okay.
So if it's gonna be tundra, I wonder if dog sleds would be a better idea.
Or those well, they also have those like they're like snow ponies.
Snow ponies.
Yeah.
No ponies are a thing.
Yeah, they're like horses, but they're a bit shorter, bit squatter. But they can handle really cold weather.
Guess we'll see what they bring us.
Yeah, I'm assuming they know what's needed if you're heading far north.
I mean, I
Maybe-
wouldn't mind a set of their griffins so that we can just.
Fly there.
But somehow I don't think that's on the menu.
I don't think they're gonna also, that I don't know. We just did a flying thing, and that almost ended really poorly for Dermot.
I would prefer to stay on the ground for Dermot's sake.
Yes. Yes.
For
that-
Dermot's
Dermot's
sake.
sake.
Right, for Dermot's sake, Mako says as he takes a drink of his ale.
Oh, ooh. Arthea's kind of rustling through her bag and pulls out. I have 3 potions. Unidentified.
Hmm.
That I think before we leave might be useful for us to determine what they are and what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can do that tonight, Dermot.
Yeah, I could do that just as soon as I'm
Done.
done with these tables.
Okay.
Joseph,
Yes, F.
tell me about these tables.
I would love to tell you about these tables. First off,
After an investigation check?
yes, you just pulled the words right out of my mouth.
Almost like I've done this before. Investigation. Is a 15.
15. The damage to these tables, you could see, was most likely the result of a bar fight that had broken out. Someone very, very heavy had been thrown onto the one where the legs had been snapped off. But basically, altogether, you assume that it would take, I don't know, it depends on your method, but they're easily fixable. It just takes time. What method were you thinking of using?
It depends on how extensive the damage is.
I would say,
Okay, let me ask a specific question.
there you go.
Is any damaged piece, I assume these are all wood,
Yes.
the dimensions of any particular piece of damage, do they exceed 1 foot in any dimension?
Yes.
Okay, anything that doesn't, any piece of damage that is 1 foot in any dimension or less,
I would
I am
say,
going to, with sleight of hand, I am going to cast Mending, and I am going to just fix it.
okay. That will definitely work for fixing the tabletop itself from the splintering. So you
Mhm.
definitely do restore it to its smooth sheen
Yeah.
finish. The snapped table legs, however, that is going to be a little bit more involved, as it's got the central post and then the 4 long table legs that come off of that.
Okay. Yeah, because the examples for mending are like a broken chair leg or tears or rips in clothing.
Mm.
So like I was imagining like if anything like a 4x4 piece of wood, like if that had been snapped in half, the break point is not going to be a foot
That
long
is
in
true.
any dimension.
That is true.
So I
Yeah,
would be able to, for 4 different table legs, I'd be able to just cast mending 4 times.
that works. You know what? That
Okay.
actually makes more sense. He did sort of keep the pieces of the legs themselves, so it is a little bit of an easier fix for that. But within, I think mending, what is a 6 second thing?
It is 1 minute
Okay,
per cast, and I am using my Tinkerer's tools
got it.
as um the focus is the
Okay,
word I'm looking for.
perfect. Yeah, it takes you a few minutes, but eventually you do finish securing all of the um, damaged pieces back together. Tables look good as new. Um, I'd say after another about 15, maybe 20 minutes or so, uh, Dagon does come out. He's got the big old serving tray. He's got several plates, and he presents um, potatoes. He's got some sweet potatoes in there. It basically just this sort of hob, hobgoblin
Smorgasbord.
smorgasbord. Thank you. He's got some ham, a few pieces of turkey, um, pretty much solid, nice, hot food spread that he presents to all of you. And he sort of looks around the corner at the tables and says, "Oh, wow, how did?" And then he looks at you. Ah, um, it's not a problem. Thank you. I appreciate you for taking care of that for me. Did you need anything else?
Um, I don't believe so. Not at the moment.
All right. I just fetch me if you need me. And you see he kind of meanders around and starts cleaning up the rest of the tavern. You are the only patrons, by the way, that are at the bar. There's nobody else in this room, but he is just making his way and kind of cleaning and straightening up around everything else. What would you like to do?
Tell Dermot to come here. You with the horns.
Will he in trouble, Mom?
Oh. I'm gonna back away and go just get some potatoes, but like
She's back
watch.
to winter.
Yeah, that's right.
I imagine we start like seeing like
Mhm.
it's like the cheeks are red and we don't know if she's like blushing because she's
Mhm.
angry or if she's turning into Summer Faraday and we are just like please step back. We're like
Mako just sits where he is.
Mhm.
yeah.
He wants to hear this.
Did you forget where
Just
we
like-
are?
Mhm.
Yeah. Dermot, did you forget
No.
where we are?
No.
What are you doing?
I've seen that spell cast by many people, including clerics.
Just be mindful.
I am. I was trying not to be, showy or what have you, but I knew that I would be able to help, so I did.
And I'm sure he'll appreciate that eventually, but we made Allura a promise too. And while we're doing good, while we are on a mission that the Dawn Marshals know about and are supporting us in, we are all walking a very fine line being here and doing what we're doing. The less trouble we make, the easier it will be to keep Gilmore out of hot water.
I suppose you're right. No more doing things the easy way,
At least not till we get out of the city.
even if it is the better way.
Well, obviously.
It's at this point that the door to the tavern does open, and you can see a slender elven figure step in. They are wearing simple monk's robes with a blue sash belt. They are bald with tattoos. These sort of intricate tattoos that sort of cascade down across the eyes up until just above their or just below their cheekbones, and it continues over their bald head. They have, you know, a looks like a quarterstaff of some kind, sort of at their side, but they are walking in and just sort of pleasantly look around before laying eyes on you at the bar. And they approach. Hello, I am the representative of the Cobalt Soul. I have arrived per instruction from the Dawn Marshals.
Point at Arthea.
The elf turns. Hello, I am the representative of the Cobalt Soul.
Oh,
another
they're
one of those-
that way. Okay.
Another one of those robots.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Nothing. Did I miss your name?
My name is Neven.
Neven.
Nieveen. I'm also going to write that down.
Jot that down.
Everybody, just take a second, write that down.
One more time, spelling.
Nieven. Neven. Wonderful. Is the right document.
This has to be the process going forward. Then not only will it remind you guys to get taken out, but when everybody pauses to stop and take a note, my brain will be like, "What are they doing?"
What are they
Oh, I
doing?
should do that too.
Why aren't they saying anything or
Name.
responding to me?
Like, oh wait, they're jotting down the things. Just to confirm with my my fellow party members, we have the original of the second piece of the manuscript, and we have just our copied down version of the first piece, which was left in Western, right? We did not take the physical thing from the Cobalt Reserve in Western.
I don't believe we took the first copy because it was like an inner library loan.
library loan.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a copy
Mhm.
Okay.
of that one. I
Yeah.
think the one that we have, the actual,
We have the
is
original
the
from
second
Sanborn.
one.
It's the second,
Okay.
yes.
From
Just
Sanborn,
making
yeah.
sure I am correct in what I'm pulling out of my bag.
Mhm.
I feel like I should put on like gloves. She probably has some.
I don't know. The state of that manuscript when we got it really.
Well,
I don't
that's
think it
the thing,
matters.
is that- I know it does. It's gonna
Don't
just
wanna
fall to
make it
pieces.
worse.
No, I don't. Yeah, hand oils are really bad for that type of stuff.
We
Historical Preservation Faraday.
restorative techniques in the Cobalt Soul to preserve any damaged documents.
That's good because I think for the
Because
last
we're gonna need it.
the last at least 500 years, but probably a lot longer. This has been sitting in someone's, I think, pocket, honestly.
You
Yeah.
see their eyes sort of narrow a little bit, and you see a little vein kind of pop in their temple.
I know. It's in quite the condition.
Hold on.
So
and you see
what-
that they kind of lean on the staff. Like they got indigestion just hearing that.
we were careful with it. We tried to keep it together and limit how much we're handling it. But so I don't know, how much do you want? We have the original for the second piece of this manuscript, and we have sort of a handwritten copy of the first piece. And we have notes. I mean, I have notes. I don't know if anyone else has notes. Am I the only did
You're
that.
probably the only one with notes.
Okay, I have notes that I took, not on them because we don't do that, but notes
You-
that go with them. I don't know.
They slightly exasperatedly nod. Thank you.
I did not. She did not write in pen on the ancient book.
God. On this ancient artifact.
There's like post-it notes in there.
She got sticky notes to
Like
tabs.
dog-eared
Oh.
pages.
Highlighter.
Hey,
No. Oh.
sticky notes?
Yep.
Stuck it in the book with your notes on them is perfectly acceptable. That is how I take all of my DM notes.
I think though I think it's not okay if you put them on things that are like ancient manuscripts. I'm guessing the glue is
Probably,
probably
like-
bad.
Yeah. Or like if you have like a color coding system with like markers.
Oh yeah, she's underlining
Let's talk
stuff.
about
She's
this.
Highlighting.
Yeah, I was gonna say she went through it with like a Dayglow yellow highlighter. But yeah, the Dawn Marshals weren't very specific. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I hand?
The original manuscript you had discovered,
Yeah.
is it safe?
It's in my bag, so probably not.
All right.
I
So
think she means the first piece.
Oh,
The Western.
the Western piece. I mean, that went back to the Cobalt Reserve, so far as we know.
perfect. Then that piece is kept safe. I would accept any notes along with the 2 manuscript pieces that you do have, including the copy that you had made.
She'll start to very carefully extract. In this case, it would be the leafy, somewhat moldy. Looks like it's been living in a forest.
It basically has those some grass stains on it. Some
Yeah.
of the pages.
Yeah, it looks like it's been. It's surprisingly good shape considering. And gently put that to the side first.
Mhm.
And then all of the rest of it is in a single. And I have broken it out, so I can actually send it to you after this.
Oh, awesome!
I have it broken into a document.
Sweet. You see that
There
Neven.
goes Tina making the rest of us look bad.
I had a lot of fun with it. I think I want to throw it into.
She's
Aw.
the
Little
wizard
note.
for a reason, okay?
Yeah.
I find
I
it
mean,
pretty
that's
okay.
Thurston was the one who actually made an actual employee agreement for
did.
Quincy.
Yeah.
Look, we all have our shticks, okay?
Yeah.
So
And I,
it
in
was
kind,
fine.
had to roleplay Quincy, who would not just skim through the bullshit. Would have probably actually read through all of the shit.
It- Oh, I
You
love
see
it.
that they take out this. It looks like just a large piece of leather, no bigger than an atlas, in terms of dimensions. And they sort of flick it, and it becomes this leather case. They open it, and then they slowly take the manuscript pages very, very gingerly and gently, and place them inside, along with the journal and any additional notes, anything else you're presenting.
Yep.
And they fold it back over, and they run their hand along the edge, and you see that it actually seals up, and then sort of holds it kind of close to their chest and says, "Wonderful."
Is that something that you can? Is that just a Cobalt Soul thing, or where does one get those?
But this
Yeah.
typically is issued by the Cobalt Soul for any expositors.
Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's that's fine. It's just that would have been
This
very
just
useful.
preserves any objects, documents in stasis while it is active, so it prevents any additional damage.
Do you sell them?
No.
Would you consider selling them?
I don't feel I'm the one to speak with on this matter. I could put in a word with someone of higher station, if you would like.
No rush, of course, but just something to consider. I'm sure that we are not the only ones who would be interested in such an item. It's something that would be very interesting for plenty of wizards and sorcerers and while I know that's not necessarily your forte, around the world there are many people who seek to preserve knowledge in their many forms.
Make me a a persuasion check.
Leave it up to the two nerds to get jazzed about magical stationery and office supplies. Jesus fucking Christ.
No, we're gonna have the Cobalt. It's gonna be like the Cobalt Soul store. They're gonna have a little gift shop from here on out.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thurston will import that shit for them. 15. That's not his best.
I'm just thinking Gilmore's Glorious Office Depot.
Yep.
Gilmore's glorious staples.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we're doing.
You see, Neven sort of ponders it. Initially, as you were speaking, a little bit like a salesman. You definitely notice a shift of like, oh god, okay, let's just get through it. But then the more and more points you hit, the more they actually started pondering, and they said, I will speak with my superior to see if something can be arranged. I understand your points. I don't believe that the Cobalt Soul would not be amenable to such an idea, but let me put in a request and see what comes up.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You see that they bow.
We would have been able to get that manuscript preserved even more quickly because it pained us as well to see the state that it was in.
I trust that our restoration techniques should restore it to somewhat of its former state. It will
To be
take some
fair, it could
time,
have
but
been in that state. I mean, I don't. It could have come to Sorvellen like that. We don't really know what it looked like when she got it. Though, to be fair, it does look like it rolled in the grass a bit.
I did notice that. And you see that they wipe off their hand just a little bit on their robe. They say, yeah, if there's nothing else, then I will make my journey back to the Cobalt Soul. Is there anything else that you need?
Well, I guess just a couple. One quick question. The missing piece that we're hopefully going to be retrieving. Does anyone know what it contains?
You see that they furrow their brow slightly. The third piece of this manuscript was thought to contain the reason that Enrin Drake was referred to as a madman. From what I understand, as this is somewhat come to our attention as a item of importance, those who did read through only merely describe this piece as as ramblings. There's no real cohesive thought. It's as though whatever thoughts are passing through his mind are immediately inscribed on the pages with no rhyme or reason. We thought it pointless to hold on to, but nonetheless, Enrin Drake was an accomplished arcanist in his day, and as such, we felt it necessary to still house this piece in case somebody had some information.
Well, assuming that Gilmore did abscond with it, maybe he knows how to make sense of it.
From what I hear of Mr. Gilmore, I do believe that his work in enchantments and arcane magics may indeed be an advantage in understanding what message Enrin was trying to portray.
Don't read this book. Okay, well, I guess that's at least something to keep in mind if we do come across it, that maybe we should at least approach it with an open mind.
I would always encourage doing so with any literature, no matter how sophisticated or not so may seem.
Um, and I think the only other question I had was, how long have you lived here, or been assigned here?
I have been assigned with the Cobalt Archive in Vasselheim for the last 10 years.
Okay. So do you know the area, the region around here reasonably well?
I typically do not venture outside of the city gates, but I am familiar with the terrain and the surrounding area.
So she's gonna pull out the journal of transmission where she has this rough map drawn by somebody else that and just lay it out. Say, okay, this is the map we were given to follow, and I don't know anything about these lands. We're trying to gauge how long this journey might be, what if there's anything we need to bring with us specifically, either to deal with the weather or I don't know, to deal with beasts or I don't know what's along the way. I'm not sure. There's no cities or towns marked on this.
Well, yes, this is venturing into the Thorain Tundra. And you see that they examine your map. Say, from what I understand, the farther north of Vasselheim you venture, the more dangerous the weather becomes. The winter cold is quite strong, especially along the mountains that sort of border the northern part of Asira. As for wildlife, you may encounter some snow wolves, typical Arctic fauna. As for inhabitants, I have heard of some accounts from local hunters that they do encounter the occasional yeti, and some even say that they have spotted giants and trolls.
Okay.
If this map, and you see that they
Yeah.
point to the mountain that's being sort of referenced in the scrawling, if that is your destination, I would first off encourage including some sort of climbing gear. And I would. I'm not quite good at distance. As I've said, I've not personally made this trek, but I do know that the travel from Vasselheim to Shorewood? Not Shorewood. The hell is that town? Shorecombe. The travel from Vasselheim to Shorecombe would take about a week, perhaps a week and a half if weather were to play a factor. So I would consider right about the same amount of time to make this trip.
So round trip, we need to prep for, I would say, a month, assuming time out there, delays, weather. We're going to have to make sure we have some serious food.
Yes, I would highly recommend doing so.
Okay.
You know, there is a hunter, a ranger. I wonder if I might be able to locate him. He had encountered a strange beast on the plains between Shorecombe and Vasselheim, but he, I believe, has traveled north. Let me see if I can fetch him for you. May I just bring
Extremely helpful. Yeah, no, please. I think we'll be here all night. I don't know if planning on leaving, and any information could be helpful right now.
Of course, I will. We'll see if I can track them down for you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
And you see that they give a bow, and then they turn and make their way out of the tavern.
I feel like I lost my baby.
Yeah, you definitely are feeling the absence of Book.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm sure they'll let you visit whenever you want.
I know, but it's it's like 12 weeks worth of notes.
Are we allowing them to keep the second piece of the manuscript?
I
So they
mean,
would return it to us at the end.
yeah,
Hmm.
though I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't know what I would do with it. I think once it's all together, I'd like to at least have.
I think that if Gilmore is in danger, that is a bargaining chip that we should use. They did say they would lessen the charges if he returns the third piece, but the second piece, if they'd like to have essentially the full set between their multiple locations, we should not allow that to go so easily if Gilmore is at risk.
That's fair.
It's a good idea.
So we wait for a little bit.
We wait. I think so. I mean, anything at least we can learn about heading off into the tundra. I mean, I know mountains sort of. I know cold, but I can imagine it's maybe not all that different than home, but beyond that, if there's someone who's been in that region who can at least give us an idea of what we might encounter along the trek. I mean, can horses even do it? I don't know if we can take horses into mountains like that. Or it might be maybe too dangerous.
Well, you said they have special horses.
They have ones that do well in it's like really cold weather and deep snow. They can forage, so they work really well if you're far north, but in flat lands more or less. I'm not so sure about mountains. I don't even know if these mountains are the kind where you can hunt on them. Do we? I'm not really sure how to do that.
I mean, you can sneak up and kill anything. If
I mean,
it's
I could.
unsuspecting.
I've never. I mean, I could
She,
probably
like,
set a
shifts her
snare.
swords.
I could maybe, but
I think the concern is more: is there anything that far up or that far out
Yeah.
that would be around to unsuspecting or not?
Also, if the things that are there are things that will be hunting. Mountains tend to
Probably.
have
Cutting in and out a little bit. I couldn't quite hear that full one. Sorry.
whether the things that are up there, high mountain passes tend to have a lot of things that can eat you, less things that you can eat.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, that is kind of important.
yeah, I'm thinking maybe either way, we're here for the night anyway, so if there's somebody who can maybe give us anything.
We'll definitely need
Can't hurt.
rations, and
Yeah,
they
a month.
they suggested climbing gear, so
We have potions of climbing,
we do.
so that's good. Maybe climbing gear on top of that also help. Thurston can levitate at people and objects, or just can you levitate anything?
Yes, Thurston,
Yeah.
tell us about how you can cause something to leave the ground and slowly fly up and into the air. I know that that's your favorite thing to do.
Verity reaches over, and just pushes him.
Just kind of
Come on,
set
that was
him. Yes, I can levitate objects as well. It's not necessarily a thing I can do long term, but as a additional safety precaution for all of us, as we're apparently going to be climbing mountains, yes, that I can do.
Okay.
After a few more minutes, you guys see the door open once again, and you can see Neven enter. And they say, I managed to locate the ranger, and they step to the side, and you can see another dwarf with this sort of coif of hair that looks remarkably messy. They have a beard that looked like at one point it was braided and had different beads of different colors going through it, which has since been disheveled. And part of his beard looks like it has been singed off. They wear damaged leather armor, but they are in one piece. But you can see that they look very tired. And Neven says, "This is Cor Gren. He might be able to assist you with any additional questions you may have on the area." Thank you. Thank you, Cor. I must return to the Cobalt Soul, if you'll excuse me. Neven
No, thank you.
steps up.
Thank you very much.
Cor enters, looks at all of you, and says, "All right, which one of you is the ranger here?"
As they say that, Thurston slightly chuckles to himself and then walks like to the door to wave down Neven and to say, I apologize. In case you do have the opportunity to talk to your superiors, here is my business card as well, just in case.
Sure, I will include that. Thank you.
I love that he brought them with him.
Still disguised as my sister.
When Corcoran asks who's the ranger, I point at him.
Oh.
Our ranger friend is not with us, unfortunately, though. She and I spent quite a bit of time together, so I've picked up a fair bit, but nothing like the skills I'm sure you possess.
Right. Okay. All right. And you see he walks towards the bar and hops up. Dagon sees him enter and immediately goes behind the bar. Cord just goes, "Whiskey, make it a double." And Dagon goes to work and comes back with a nearly full glass of whiskey. Presents it and then busies himself. Yeah, the food is delicious. Yeah. It's very well made, nicely seasoned.
If Cor wants to eat, are you hungry? You look like you've had a day.
Been about a week.
Okay, so, please feel free to eat. They brought out quite a bit.
I'm good. It kills the buzz if I do. And Mako goes, "I like this one."
That's how I've been doing it wrong the whole time.
All right. What?
No, you haven't.
Neven said you guys were heading north. Any particular area?
Thorian Tundra, apparently, or I guess across the tundra, since we have to get to the mountains.
Right. Okay. What questions do you have? That might be the best way to start this.
How do we survive the journey?
I don't even know what questions to have to not die.
Do you have winter survival gear? Do you got warm fur coats?
Yes.
Snowshoes, all that sort of stuff?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Because I've been asked that same question, and they look at me like I'm crazy when I ask if they have that on them. How much rations do you guys have?
We will be picking up tomorrow.
Gather not enough yet.
We are in need of restocking. It's been quite the journey.
All right. And how far are you going? And what? I don't want to pry, but what's your goal?
Hopefully finding someone who is supposedly up, I'm assuming up this mountain. She just kind of points to it.
Okay. All right. Traveling in the winter, you're going to need to rest frequently, hydrate frequently. Just because you can have the energy to keep going, if you build up a lot of sweat and you're in Arctic temperatures, that's going to cause problems because your sweat could freeze on your skin, cause problems. Any sort of shelter you can find for yourself is important.
Shelter shouldn't be an issue for us.
Okay. I won't ask. Just look after each other. I mean, that's the biggest thing I could say, is that it's very the storm that continually goes up north is difficult.
I'm sorry, the storm that continually goes.
Yeah, there is a constant snowstorm. The farther north you go, the more you feel it.
They left that part out. That was not in.
How?
Just being honest. You said how?
Yeah.
News to me, I don't know. I went up there with. Let me see if they stop. I went up there previously, trying to find that out for myself, and it was not a good adventure. I had to cut while I was ahead and get back to safety because the storm got a little too intense for me.
Oh.
So, where would that begin? Is it, I mean, is it something that we'll encounter right after leaving Vasselheim, or is this?
I would say you would encounter it maybe about a day or two north.
Okay. So
And
pretty
it would
early
be
on.
light at first. It would just seem like a light snow, but
Okay.
then you'd be able to see in the distance. Like, it's pretty visible that it's just constant roiling chaos out there.
Okay. That's actually really helpful because no one else told us about that part.
I mean, I know the Cobalt Soul is supposed to be information hoarders, but applying it, who knows?
Okay.
See, they down the whiskey, and when they place the glass, they kind of clink it a little bit, and Dagon hears it and kind of looks over his shoulder and rolls his eyes and goes back behind the bar, pours another, and then just leaves the bottle.
Be a better idea. So you've traveled up there before, and I'm guessing you travel around this region fairly frequently.
Yeah. All right, this is gonna be a weird question. Were you guys in Whitestone a few months ago?
Yeah, about 3 months ago, actually.
Yeah, for Winter's
Winter's
Crest,
Crest.
right? Yeah. The bar, the Wild Rose. There was a
The
party or
party?
something. Yeah. So me and some of the guilds had shown up for that. You guys are. I thought I recognized you guys. You guys look familiar.
I threw that party.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a hell of a time back when things were easy.
Yeah. Back when things were less complicated.
Far less complicated. Let's go back
Yeah.
to those times, guys.
Yeah,
Before the dark times, before the Empire,
Yes. Exactly.
but
before
me and
COVID.
the Pride Party were doing some work for the Slayers takeout here. So we kind of ventured more south. We never approached Thorane because that's, like I said, bad plan. But kind of in a holding pattern right now.
Wait. They were talking about a beast down south.
Yeah.
That was that you guys?
We managed to slay it, but my animal companion didn't make it through. So, but the others are recovering. It's been a trial. The beast was a drake, a dragon of some kind. I don't know really what term to give it. I had never encountered something like that, but it did a number on us. And unfortunately, what I was told, there was somebody else with it. They were trying to apprehend this rogue dude. I don't know. I really essentially came upon them as they were mid-fight with this dragon drake thing. But they said that there was somebody with the beast. I don't know if they were allies or what, but this person got away.
Well, hopefully we do not run into one of those. Whatever it is.
Yeah. I would encourage not doing that.
Yeah. No, we will. We're going to try to avoid that. We'll put that on the list of things to avoid. No, I was more thinking if you've traveled around and are there any, I don't know, stories, legends, myths, folklore about this place we're going, these mountains?
I mean, there's a lot of, well, I mean, there's the local legend, which is that the Storm Lord resides up north, which is odd because the motif of, if what I'm understanding, Stormlord is thunderstorms. Why would he be in the Arctic? That I'm just sort of picking apart the legend on my own, but the I don't know. Some of the history is a little muddled. There's some stories of people trying to settle up in the tundra, but the local Yeti tribes had made it difficult to do that. There are occasional rumors of giants, ice giants, that reside in the mountains themselves, so I would definitely keep an eye out for them. But no other real, I suppose, local legends other than this myth that the storm is the cause, or the storm is caused by the Storm Lord himself.
Well, doesn't sound like the Stormlord that I was taught about, but I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on that. So
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess at least there's no, no legends about like things that are going to come out and eat you or in the middle of the night or things that are going to, I don't know, suck your soul out or stuff.
I mean,
It could be
Besides
worse.
the Yetis.
Well, but at least Yetis are, it seems like those are known. Like those are,
let me
We've
also
had-
just point this out too. The stories of the things that we know are up there are from those who came back. There are a great many.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
Hey, I'm not trying to damper the mood or anything. I'm just saying. He takes another shot of the whiskey. I'm just saying. Whoa, good stuff. He just pours another one. I'm just saying that if you're looking for other local legends, it's that not a whole lot of people come back from up north.
awesome. Really glad we are following this path. Dog sled or horses?
I would vote dog sled over horses.
You know where to get one?
Um,
Two.
yeah, I can probably. There should be a stable that's near the gates. They might be able to set something up for you. I think that they also. Let me rephrase this RP because he wouldn't think that he wouldn't know that they keep solid group of dogs and a few sleds out there. You might be able to arrange something with them.
Would need enough for the 6 of us.
Probably going to take you at least 3. 2 per sled, I'm thinking.
Plus supplies.
Maybe 4. And he looks at Mako. He wasn't at the party, right?
No.
No, we met him later.
He's graciously volunteered to assist us in this journey.
I didn't say
I
that
wouldn't
meeting
say
you later was a
graciously.
bad thing. I just said later. That's all.
Yes, this is 100% my agreement with this group to assist them with locating their friend. And Kor's like, all right.
You get used to it.
Justin reaches towards the bottle that's sitting there
Slides
and
it.
fills Mako's drink. Just like, here you go.
Hmm.
Like giving a sippy cup to
Placated.
a kid. Like, yeah, uh-huh.
Here's
Here.
your juice, Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
All right.
Mako says, see, they're learning too, and then takes a drink. Anyway, I would just take extra care as you travel. It's unpredictable up there.
Sounds like a lot of, well, everything right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna go head back to the take, check in on my friends.
Oh.
I'll let them know you said hi.
Yeah. Maybe
Nice.
when all of this is done, Dermot can throw another party.
Sounds
Celebrate.
That is an excellent idea.
good. And who's this?
And I look at Cora and I say, spread the word.
Sure, when all my friends are upright, happily. Who's this friend, by the way, that you're looking for up north?
Just an old
Gilmore?
friend of ours.
Oh, all right. Well, travel safely, and I'll see you guys when you get back in town.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to it.
Thank you.
Finishes his glass and drops 2 gold on the table, and just marches right out.
I'm looking forward to this
Sean
less and
Gilmore?
less.
Oh god, one of the Dawn Marshals, the frowning one, I think.
We were all
Um,
frowning.
You'll have to give us more than that.
The one that spoke the most, that was
Mhm.
frowning. The one that the one that every time they looked at me, I kind of felt like I needed to apologize for something.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, that one. He said that Gilmore came into the city probably when you scryed on him, and he was at the Slayer's take. Maybe they've
Yeah.
seen him before he went wherever he went.
Yeah.
You in a wind tunnel, Cujo?
Yeah, seriously, what is going on over there?
Yeah.
How about now?
That's good.
It's called turning off the AC.
Mm. Why do you have the AC? Why do you have the AC running in December?
Because my apartment's weird temperature-wise, okay?
Fully get it. It's been hot in our place too.
Yep.
It's
I've had the windows open.
Yeah, I've never been like actually comfortable with the temperature in my apartment in the almost 2 years that I've been here. It's weird. It's difficult to explain, but
No, I completely understand because it's like that in here too.
yeah.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Just want you to know.
I just now saw Trigg's comments. I swear to God, that will never ever
Love
happen
to
again.
know.
That's a story for another time.
But yes, I'm sure that if there's anybody in the city who is more likely to be sympathetic to those of more arcane magics, it would probably be those of the Slayer's take. They're kind of, I mean, from what I understand, they're kind of like coming and going, right? So they're probably not being watched as often.
Perhaps in the morning we should divide and conquer. Some of us go get supplies and
Mhm.
a crossbow, and some of us go to the Slayer's Take to ask about Gilmore.
Well, we need the dogs too.
I think that's. I mean, I would think
We know
for
where
him-
Gilmore is.
We know where he is. It's just just kind of points at the page. The other party is obnoxiously impatient.
I
For
think we should
someone
get
who
the
didn't-
dogs and yeah. We should get the dogs, we should get the rations, and we should leave. I don't think the
Probably-
Slayer stick's gonna help.
Over, I'm
Being that
guessing
he-
rations.
Rations and dogs.
Rations and dogs, definitely. I guess maybe over by rations on the assumption that we get stuck up there somewhere. I mean, once
Yes.
we're out, I don't think, from what he said and what else seems to indicate, there's no place. We might not be in a town again until we get back.
If it's going to be as cold as he says, we'll need to bring extra
Everything.
Yeah.
everything.
Well, the bubble will keep us.
Thurston bought that heat tent too.
Yes.
We have the heat temp.
We have the tent, we have the bubble. We can probably double up on those and put a bubble inside of a tent.
Well, we only have so much room in the bubble, and the dogs will also have to be
Yeah. So
taken
tent.
care of.
So maybe tent up. Dogs can go in, bubble inside for extra protection.
Mhm.
That is something to keep in mind. Is bubble is it's 8 hours. So recasting in weather might be difficult.
We'll make do somehow.
Okay. Dogs and rations. Does anyone know how to drive a dog sled? I mean,
No.
Cad, you can talk to someone about that maybe?
No.
I can probably get a little
Yeah, maybe
spiritual help.
someone there has to be a spirit around can knows how to do that. There must be.
Presumably that would be land vehicles again.
Yeah, that would count as a land vehicle.
I mean, I figure
At least I can't
there-
break a wheel on a dog sled.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
I think you can't really. Well, I guess you can break like a ski,
You can break a rail. Yeah.
and also they tip over.
Yeah.
I've seen these videos before.
This will be fun.
All right. Anything else you wish to do with the night?
Maybe we wait to
Uh,
identify the potions until we're not in the city. Seemed to
Probably
be
a
the
good idea.
discussion, the general consensus.
Yeah, which is fine. Has the tavern started to fill up at all since we've been here?
There are a couple other patrons, maybe like 5 or 6 that have entered and worked with Dagon and gotten their fill and all that. This is by no means a busy tavern, but a few more people have come in to partake.
Okay. I am going to, because it's such a light crowd, I'm not going to go like looking for a stage or anything, but I'm probably just going to sit on the edge of our table and just start playing. Just amplify the existing ambience,
Okay.
the ambiance.
All right. Sounds good. Go ahead and make me a performance check just for the fun of it.
Not very good at those.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you would be, stupid, terrible bard. Is that a 1?
No. There's a 1 in it.
Oh.
19.
Like
That is
31.
it is a 30 even.
Mm.
It's a dirty 30.
Ooh.
You play, and you think you're just sort of passively playing a tune. What everybody else hears is like the most heart-wrenching and
Mozart.
yet uplifting. Yeah, you're basically Bard Mozart. You're Bozart. Uh,
Bardzart?
Wolfgang Amadeus O'Ferry.
No, it is. I think I'm just playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And everyone else realizes that that tune was originally written by Mozart.
The other patrons each actually give you money because they're like, this is the most beautiful song I've ever heard. And they in total you get 5 gold out of it. You say, what is your name? We'll say that this is a human female.
And I tip my head and say, Dermot O'Ferry, a pleasure.
Dermot O'Ferry. Do you come around here often? Where can I see you perform at? They're basically like applying to be a groupie.
That's what he needs for his ego.
Mm-hmm.
This is only my second visit to the city. And unfortunately, we are on our way out in the morning for a time.
Well, if you like, when you come back, I can talk with the bar and see if we can arrange an official performance. Basically, they're like rambling, trying to figure out ways to A, get in your good graces, but then B, convince you to come back.
Um, our trip is what, a month each way into the mountains is our timeline that we thought we were working with.
To get there, it's about a week and a half if you do not have any real delays with
Okay,
the month.
so we were thinking a month round trip.
Yes.
I'll just say, I do expect to be back within the city sometime in the next month, maybe two. And I expect at least for a short time I will be staying here, so keep an eye out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I will go and let people know. And you see that they like run out of the building, like they just spoke with the main source of inspiration in their life, like face to face.
Cool.
That I will say. I'm guessing that nothing else you guys need to do, correct?
I'm
Nope.
gonna do one thing after we go to bed.
Okay. I will say. I'm guessing if nobody else has anything going. Well, let me check with Tina. Tina, do you have anything you wish to do before the night passes?
I do not think so. Anything on my list of things to do? Nope.
Okay.
Don't think so.
All right.
I think the only thing I'll continue doing is ever since our little call it the teleportation mishap,
Mm-hmm.
she started trying to work out the math behind it. So she's been working that out, trying to base out the actual, like, okay, if this thing is actually a sort of a mirror, which based on the way those ruins are, to start from there, the actual end product, and work it back mathematically to whatever the govern how it works.
Okay. I
She
like
started that process. She does math at night. It's fine. Don't worry.
it.
Yeah, isn't that normal?
I mean, at least it's not meth.
That's
God.
true.
Can you imagine Arathea on meth?
Yeah,
And
we've
that was-
seen it.
It's
was-
true.
You know what? That
It was
worked out
that double
really-
dose of.
Yeah, the aftermath was not fun, but you know what?
Delirium.
Mm-hmm.
That was fine. That's for emergencies only. She's not
Oh.
taking lyrium at night, just like staying up, extra
Like
late.
Adderall.
I feel like lyrium would be a horrible sleep aid.
To be fair, I don't know how it would work if, like, would you just have like a really, really extra intense trance? You would see the math, like literally.
You'd literally see the math everywhere you'd look.
Yes. She'd be like, I figured it all out. The answer is 42.
And then passed out for 3 days.
That's the
Yep.
question.
That's what I didn't write down.
All right. Faraday, what do you want to do before you go to bed?
I'm going to take okay, I don't remember if it's a stone or a bracelet. The set, whatever we used to use sending.
It was a
That bracelet.
Okay, I think Dermot's got it.
I thought Thurston had it.
I returned it at some point
okay.
during the bullshit.
She will take that from Dermot, and
Dermot does not give it to you.
she takes
Dermot
it
wants
from
to get slapped.
Dermot.
And
She
then
didn't
Dermot can
ask.
slap
I
you.
didn't ask.
Thank you.
Took it.
Jesus.
I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. I can feel it.
Dermot's spicy today. And she will send a message to Ellis.
Okay.
Which you and I had talked about that we've probably been doing this, like keeping kind of updates through. It has been
Yeah.
like total radio silence for the past 10 days.
Yeah. I'd say you may have sent a message like every other day or something like that. Like
Yeah.
I will allow that had happened.
So she says, Ellis, we arrived safely. Miss you and hope you are practicing a lot. Going into the forest soon. Take care of Irid and Estella.
You get back an excited ramble. Oh my god, I learned so many things today. I learned that I can duplicate spells as they are cast.
She makes a mental note to talk to the spellcasters about that.
Kirsten can do that.
Yes. And then she'll respond, that's amazing. Keep practicing. I may be quiet the next few days, but I will check in soon.
You get back in a less excited tone. I hope you guys are okay. We are safe. Irid is keeping close eye on Estella. Jesus Christ.
You good?
Emergency alert.
Yeah, it's an alert. Okay, I get it. I understand it's important. I get it. But fuck, every single time that happens, I pee
Scares
myself.
the shit out of me.
I lost count of my words, by the way.
For a sec, I thought you did that on purpose, and like the observatory had just like exploded. I was like, this son of a bitch.
Damn it, spoilers. No, I'm just
Next
kidding.
package you're getting is not going to be Gilmore. It will be glitter.
In a bomb format.
You're gonna open it. It's gonna go.
Yeah.
You'll have glitter everywhere forever.
Mm-hmm. That'll go great for my security deposit.
Yep.
It's not even like damage. They're just like, we can't get rid of it.
Like,
We
sorry
can't
about
get rid of it.
Sorry about the craft herpes.
The message finishes with, how much longer will you be? I'm just going to pretend that made sense. Don't know how many words I had actually said.
That's
We'll
fine.
just
I think
pretend
you were
that
close.
Okay.
This should be this is the last one because we get 3.
Yep.
A couple more weeks. I will let you know when we are on our way back. Please stay safe.
You get back in a sort of sheepish tone. I will. I love you. Miss you. Can we have a party when you come back?
Damn it! I'm out. I'm tapped.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, I'm sure you've like mentioned that to her, that you can only send 3, but she keeps forgetting.
Yeah. Fairdale just note that she has to. She keeps the bracelet. And in the morning, I think it's once per dawn, or it's 3
Yes.
3 per day.
3 per dawn.
In the morning she'll respond. She'll like
Okay.
wake up. She'll make sure that she kind of keeps it. She actually puts it on,
Got it.
and will make sure that like first thing in the morning she responds.
Okay. Perfect. All right. You guys sleep in some actually surprisingly cozy beds. This tavern is not a dive by any means. This is actually a very well constructed, well cared for establishment. The beds are quite comfy. There's an extra comforter on each bed, just making sure you guys are feeling nice and cozy as you guys are getting your sleep on. Morning comes. It's you feel that brisk breeze kind of rolling through as the temperature is just naturally a little bit colder here, but the day is yours.
When Thurston comes downstairs, it is Thurston that comes
Okay.
downstairs.
Dagon goes, you know what? Never mind. And he just goes about his things.
He's a smart man.
Dad comes downstairs and just says, change of clothes today.
Fancied going back to my normal look.
I miss my sister, but this face suits you better.
Well, I suppose it helps the ruse that we have if I am spotted in other territories.
Maybe you better hang out to my coat for a little bit. I'll take it back eventually, but for now, I'll give you advantage on those weather checks.
Oh wait, it actually gives you something? He
Yeah.
doesn't recognize that. He mostly cares about the fact that he can change the color. Zero
figured
fucks
that,
given to the rest.
It gives you advantage on saving throws versus nature effects.
You could have
Going
something
into the
specific to
frozen tundra
cold.
snowstorm is going to be quite
Mhm.
helpful.
I feel like
Mhm.
isn't it like specific to cold weather too?
It just says versus nature effects. I don't know. Cujo wrote it.
There is clothing that does that. There
Yeah.
is the clothing that does that. Okay.
All right. So, what's the plan? Let's switch the.
Food and dogs.
Yeah, food and dogs. We should. I don't know if maybe you get them at the same place, like a. I don't know,
Like
Food
a
and
your
dogs.
nuts.
like a feed-in supply.
Your nuts for leaving the city walls. Here's a care package. Don't let the dogs die. They'll eat your body when you're dead.
Wow.
That's wow. Someone should.
It's a lot,
Do you-
Sam.
It's a lot to
It's
put on
not
the
really.
sign.
You can't fit that on a sign. There's a character limit, and then they charge you extra, just so you know.
Mako actually says, Verde, that's typically something I would say. Everything all right?
Fine. I just want to go.
Interverde.
should get her coffee.
Dagon, I assume he's like behind the bar doing.
Yeah, Dagon's like
things.
cleaning a few glasses and turns. Yeah.
Where would be the best place for us to get a surplus of rations for the next leg of our journey?
You can try in the market. I know that there's there's a good market in that place that Cujo totally knows of, which is absolutely in the hold on, Quad Roads.
I almost had it. I almost beat you to it.
This is what we get for venturing into a place that is not listed in as much detail as the rest of Taldore. I have to rely on a wiki, which is like, this is a bazaar that's in this place with no other notes.
Yep. But that means you get to be creative.
Yep.
Make it all up.
And nobody can contradict you.
Nope.
This is true.
Thank you. Sorry, as you probably realized, first time in the city, just trying to get our bearings. Appreciate your help.
Yeah, it's all good. Do you guys need breakfast? Or you good?
Yes, please.
All right. You see they step back into the kitchen. They come out with a decent breakfast for you all. It says totals can come out to be about a gold.
Some gold.
Kirsten will pull the gold
Yeah.
out. And
They take it and they whisk it away in their coin purse. And much obliged. Hope your journeys go well.
As do we. Looking forward to it less and less. I'll wait for the others to come down and drink my coffee, eat my breakfast.
All right. The day is yours. What is the plan? I can tell you that the Slayer's take, as you guys had mentioned, possibly talking with them, is also in the Quadroads, along with the Bazaar, that you can find survival gear or any rations that you might need, any of that information. The dogs are actually going to be towards the gates of the city. On your way out, there is a large stable slash. I can't say pound because it's not a pound. You know what I mean? Huh?
Kennel?
Kennel. Thank you. This is why it's great DMing.
Dog stable.
they did say that they would be providing means of transport.
That's
But they didn't go
true.
into detail, did they, as to whether or not that simply means they would provide
I think
funding, such as our stay here.
they said
or-
supplies too, that they
They
could.
did say supplies.
So maybe we just.
Megan, do you know where we could find Hogland?
Hogland. Typically stays near the Dusk Meadow, actually. I believe that they're a follower of the Raven Queen, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's where they kind of linger.
I believe they were the one that was supposed to be arranging our transportation. Core did recommend to us dog sleds over horses, so I wouldn't want them to waste their time on arranging horses if that's not actually what we need. But
You can try Raven's Crest, the cathedral. You might find them there if they're not out getting your equipment all together.
How about I take Arthea and we go get you a crossbow? Cad, you can go up to Raven's Crest.
would very much like to go to Raven's Crest.
I figured. Dermot Thurston, you can choose which one you'd like to go with.
I'll go to the shops with you in case we need to have an itemized expense report at the end. I'll just keep track of everything just in case.
Mako telepathically messages Cat and just says, they picked that way mostly because they were scared of your tempo.
Okay. Not
Thurston
offended by
just-
that, Mako.
Thurston
I've
just wants to do the accounting.
dealt with worse things.
I like the temple.
I won't be offended if I have to go by myself.
No one should be going by themselves.
No.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, I'll go with you as long as these guys just make sure that you save all of your receipts for me, please. I'll go. I don't care. I was just figured it'd be easier if I did that part. That's all.
I agree. It would be easier if you went with them. Cat, I'll tag along with you. It'll be fun.
When
I'm
Thurston
scared.
starts talking about itemized receipts, there's this weird buzzing that happens in Faraday's head. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just like very good intentions. She knows he gets excited about it, but it's like she can't help it. Like all of a sudden he says receipts, and it's just like white noise, static TV, like just.
You just request per diem for this kind of trip, okay?
Oh, that's true.
Sam, barking seals.
Barking seals.
I imagine like there was like a night where she's like, I can't fucking fall asleep. Hey Thurston, tell me about that book you were reading, and he like goes on a rant, and it turns into white noise, and you just conk out.
That's
Within
exactly
minutes,
it.
just-
Mhm.
He's her white noise machine. Exactly.
Mako looks between the two groups and just says, I'm going to take my chances with the tempo.
Okay.
As thrilling as hearing about financial decision making is, I'd rather see this temple for myself.
Does anyone need anything specific while we are shopping that we can
Some
pick
more
up for
jerky,
you?
would you, Arthea?
Jerky? Okay. Just pulls out a pen. Jerky.
We'll look for climbing supplies.
Climbing supplies. Very good.
Rations.
It's all gonna be mundane. Rations, climbing supplies, jerky.
Well, rations might be provided for us.
True.
Jerky will be on top of it.
Okay.
Crossbow is really just kind of a precaution. I probably shouldn't be using it, and if I am, it's probably
You
gone
know
to
what?
shit.
You
We
should be
can use
armed
it to hunt
regardless.
as well.
Does anyone else? But no one else needs anything.
Might be a good idea to get a fresh bottle of whiskey for us if it's going to be that cold up there.
Whiskey, yes.
If you can actually find fire whiskey, that will keep the warmth in your
Okay.
veins for a little bit more than standard whiskey.
Okay. Whiskey sounds good.
Dermot,
Dermot begins to object because that's not actually true, but then
Would Dermot
figures
actually know
it's just.
that?
I mean, he would
Probably.
probably maybe actually know that.
probably,
he knows-
maybe, actually.
Yeah.
Traveled a lot, and he knows how alcohol.
I mean,
Yeah, he's drank a lot.
it's mostly
Yeah.
just nice to have a.
This
A
is the
nightcap.
intervention episode of Decisions and Dragons.
Mhm.
It's
Alcohol-
mostly just nice to have a nightcap while we're on the road in the snow.
Alcohol only makes you think you're warmer as you freeze to death.
Right.
And
But
I'm
if
the
we are
morbid one this
freezing to death,
morning.
I'm just saying, if we are freezing to death in an endless storm, then having the probably be.
We
nice.
might as well be drunk for it.
Yeah. So
Right?
okay, so at least one bottle of that. Okay.
I pull out a fistful of gold coins, and I
I
give
take-
Arthea like 100 gold.
I take the fistful of coins and just
Oh,
don't even count it because yep, this looks good.
I'll actually give Arthea the bag of holding and just say you might need
Fill
to
it.
put things in this.
Just
Okay.
fill it.
You can. I'll take it back once you guys are done. But
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
The fuck is in here? It's like Leslie, she like reaches in and she's. Why are there
I
5
don't know if-
javelins?
well, I mean, just in
Javelins.
case they might come in handy. There's a couple of short. You know what? There's some short swords and extra daggers in there too, just in case I need them. But just you can ignore those. Just put the supplies.
You can never have too many daggers.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure Kat is gonna. You're gonna disprove that at some point. I feel like you're trying to challenge that statement.
I'd like to be prepared for any circumstance that we might come across.
I'm not saying it's a problem. It's definitely
Appreciate
been
it.
helpful.
So I mean,
Okay,
There's
so-
plenty of room in there still for
Okay.
the things that you're getting. I just thought it might be useful.
No. That's actually I don't think I can carry back all that stuff anyway, and Faraday probably can actually, but okay. Either way, yes, we will do that. I will get some fire whiskey.
Oh, you cut out.
No, you cut out.
You
No.
Discord's being stew.
Okay.
Juice too.
Arthea takes the bag of holding and just put it over her shoulder and takes her list of stuff and makes a note to get itemized.
I think I broke Cujo.
Juice stew is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So good
And
though.
I love it. I love it. It's
So
too
good though. Yeah, we'll
All
head
right.
out.
Okay. Let's start with the market team first.
Quadroads.
Quadro-
Team shopping.
Yay!
Yay.
Shopping episode, yay. You step out onto the road and make your way towards the Quadroads, which you can see is named so as it is a giant intersection in the city between basically all 4 larger districts. So there are shops and small buildings everywhere. There's people all over the place, which is surprising. It's cold, but people, I mean, the people here seem sort of accustomed to it. So everybody's just got their, fur coats on, warm leathers, that sort of thing. Even as a breeze sort of chills through the town, you can see that there are families that are looking through. It's surprisingly welcoming, if still of a sort of a Norse sort of uh, aesthetic amongst the people who are adventuring through. Making your way into the Quadroads Bazaar itself. What are you looking for first? What's first on the list?
I suppose probably crossbow, since that's the only weapon we're purchasing.
Mm-hmm. And then
Everything
the
we
rest
can.
might be a little easier.
It also might be at the same location.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Just...
I will say you do spot a weapons merchant who doesn't have a full building. It looks like they have like a tent set up with several weapon racks that are set up. You can see that they are sharpening. This is a large half-orc gentleman with what looks to be a mohawk that is not all like standing on end. It has fallen to one side. But they are sharpening what looks to be a large great sword. You approach and he sort of perks up. Can I help you?
I hope so. I'm looking for a crossbow that I can draw. She kind of stands there and goes like this.
All right. Just sort of double checking, making sure you're equipped. Are you looking for
we're
large or?
Lights.
Yeah, something light.
Didn't
Just,
want to assume.
Arthea, you do know that Dermot uses a hand crossbow. Are you
I
looking
do.
for something that small?
No, because realistically, I probably, if I'm using one, I'm gonna need to do it as an action, and it's for if everything goes to shit. I can't cast with a hand crossbow in hand.
All
So.
right. Let me see what I got. You see that they step into the tent itself, and they sort of. You hear the sounds of objects being shifted and moved and slid across the ground before eventually you see the same half-orc emerge with a light crossbow. And you see this is a burly dude, so the crossbow sort of like sits lightly in his hand, but he looks kind of down at you and says, does this work for you?
Takes it. Adjust
It's a little hefty,
Yeah.
but nothing impossible to wield.
I actually already have bolts, so I don't know if I should probably buy more, right? Maybe another. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sets of 20 for like a copper.
Yeah, I have a set of 20 already, but
Another set's
Probably.
probably not a bad idea.
another
If
set, not a
anything,
bad idea.
One of us can still use it too.
Yes, and I mean anyone is free to use this. She's going to try
You
and
might need to
not
be
gonna load
hunting,
it.
So.
I'm not gonna load it, obviously, in the crowded bazaar, but she is going to make sure she
Make sure. I'm sorry.
make sure she can actually crank this thing.
Okay.
And
with your previous training that you had spent over at the Nollard Estate, it takes you a second because this one's constructed just a little bit differently. But within a couple of seconds, you kind of recall the information you had previously learned and are able to pull the line back and hitch it into place, ready to go.
Okay. I mean, I think this should do. Just good to have on hand.
Thinking ahead.
All right.
And
All right.
I will pick up, I guess, a set of 20 bolts.
All right. Give me a second while I look at the shop thing here that I totally have. I am on top of shit today. Where the hell is that? What the hell? Where's that? Adventures, campaign tracking, downtime, treasure, random
Do
treasures.
you need me to look up a light
No.
crossbow?
I think
Maybe.
it's 25 gold on the basic list.
Yeah.
25 gold. I swear I know what I'm doing as a DM.
Whatever.
I suppose
Unless
that
this
this
is a
is
special crossbow, in which case, then it's probably way more.
No, it's nothing special
No.
about it. Let's see, heavy or hand. Oh, it does not list a light crossbow. in the
A
PhD.
light crossbows, 25 gold.
Okay,
Loading and two-handed.
got it. Cool. That's weird that it's not in the PHP stuff. Beyond.
Are you looking at? Did you just go into tools and items, or did you go into sources to actually look at the PHP?
I will look into sources.
Oh, it's a simple ranged weapon.
Okay.
The light crossbow, the heavy crossbow is a martial weapon.
Yeah.
So they're in different tables.
That's weird.
It is.
Yeah, it's gonna be about 25. Well, it's going to be 25 gold pieces.
Okay. We'll count out 25 gold and then.
And is that inclusive of the ammunition that's needed as well?
I don't think so.
Or the
Oh. Shuts up.
Make a persuasion check, actually, Thurston.
where is it hiding? Dirty 20.
Yeah, that's fine. Feel like probably use some extra ammo. That's fine.
Appreciated.
I should be insulted by that. He's jotting it down.
Anything else you guys need?
Well, we're looking for climbing supplies. Yeah, I don't know where even. I don't know if there's a place that sells that. And then, fire whiskey. Just like looking at our list. Jerky.
When you say fire whiskey, the half orc kind of looks you up and down, kind of taken aback that this wizard, this lady,
She's like half his height.
Yeah, like teeny little person is asking for fucking fire whiskey. I mean, there should be a vendor actually, a couple slots down. I might have that for you. I just have weaponry and ammunition. I don't really have climbing gear or anything like that. That's going to go with somebody else. But I do know that there is an alcohol vendor just a couple slots down. You might be able to find some fire whiskey with them.
Okay, that would be very good. Okay, so we will try there for the fire whiskey. Well, if we anything else, we can pop back here.
Well, yeah, just let me know.
You're here all the time?
Yep.
All right. And your name was? Just in case.
Oscar. Oscar the orc.
What's your head?
Orky McOrkson.
Tajuk. Tozhug. Mark that down in my notes.
Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you guys. Take care.
Looking very proud of herself. Kind of looking to Thurston like, did I do it right? Did I do the right?
Yes, we did get the ammunition for free, so that's a success.
I usually
Your
do
receipt
that.
itemized.
Well,
The receipt is like crossbow, and then it's like the paper is this big, the writing is this big. It takes up all of the paper, and then like in scrunchy little letters, ammo.
It's mostly that if he wasn't going to be there, he needed them to provide him receipts for his tracking and logging, but if he's there, like, it's a little bit easier.
I really do hope that you as a player have a spreadsheet of your expenses. Is that, please tell me you have that.
the shopping list thus far and the list and who's paying for it, so that when we potentially get reimbursed, that particular person gets their money back.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
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 God damn it. I love this party. Fantastic.
Rhodes, remind me to never DM for you again.
That's because
Knowing
it's
that-
Be aware,
it's
Ron,
Thursday.
knowing
campaign.
that you keep track of that shit means that your DM is gonna have to keep track of that.
No, it's
Just
because
don't
it's
DM for
Thurston.
Thurston. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think a Saren gives a shit? Hell no.
No.
A Saren doesn't understand math, probably.
I love that.
All right.
Fuck boy, I love him so much.
He is the best.
All right. You guys are directed over to the alcohol vendor. And you can see that there is a... this one actually is a small building that has several barrels sort of placed out front. Several different crates also right next to the front door. But you step inside this small, sort of rickety building, and you can see just crates upon crates upon crates and barrels and bottles everywhere. But peering out from a makeshift bar, which is just the barrels lined up next to each other, is this Dragonborn, a brass Dragonborn, lithe female features, who perks up and with this sort of raspy voice. They've got the spectacles at the bridge of their nose as they are going down their inventory, along with all of their documents, making sure that they're up to date on everything that they need. Oh, Spence.
The stupid face.
Hi.
Just the top of it. What do you want?
Our little subscription goblin.
Yeah.
I'm not even
I want-
eating
what's
this time
going
for him
on.
to beg from you.
I know.
No.
There he is.
Aw,
I turned my lid
puppy.
Oh, he's
Uh-oh.
so
Just wants
cute.
to see what's going on, that's all.
up. Fuck. I turned my lid up. I gotta turn that off. There we go.
Yeah. But they sort of perk up. May I help you?
Yes, we would like to purchase some fire whiskey. Not for current consumption, full bottles.
I understand. How many did you need?
One for Mako. How many do you?
Yeah.
How much does one drink of this, Molly? I mean, is it like a glass or one of the tiny glasses? Or...
I would.
Sizes.
My constitution allows for more than one small glass. Someone of
You can say it.
your constitution, I
You can point to
apologize.
us,
I
it's
don't
fine.
want to assume.
No.
We're not
May
offended.
Allow for about half a thimbleful at a time.
Okay, wow. So I'm really glad we asked that. Disaster. So I guess maybe one for the rest of us?
It's
One
just
for Mako.
Yeah, 2 total, I think would be good.
All right, there'll be 20 gold pieces.
And you see they turn and open up one of the crates and pull out 2 bottles that each have this red and orange label, almost looking with like this tacky fire symbol on the front.
Sorry, the distributor is a little ostentatious.
And she places them on the barrel top.
I will count out 20 gold.
And who do you use as your distributor?
This is some of the dwarves in Craghammer, actually. They manufacture and distribute in-house. So, unfortunately, some of the transportation costs are quite high.
Understandable. Yeah, but that's great that you're working directly with the manufacturer. You don't have a third-party distributor involved.
It's better to make sure the money gets to the place where it needs to go.
Exactly. That upcharge is ridiculous. with the third party.
Absolutely.
that upcharge that I wanted to charge you to become your new distributor. It's steep.
Dermot's not there. Well, it's a pleasure doing business with you. If you are ever looking for any other varieties, perhaps from Tildore or any other lands, do feel free to let me know. I do dabble in some distribution as well at very fair prices. And he
Oh.
slides his business card across.
Oh, the Nollards. Yes, I've heard of your family. Very good things, I promise.
Well, thank you.
Here is mine. And you see she fetches her own business card. The name is Kapeshk. I specifically work in Isira, but I suppose if the clientele are open for more Taldore wine tastings and whatnot, I will be sure to contact you.
Well, thank you very much. Just always good to make a connection.
Agreed.
Hujo's gonna stop doing that voice before he destroys his.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Seriously.
Cujo is now gonna narrate. Kapeshk says, and then says the statement.
It's fine.
Okay.
Kapeshk
Okay.
says, "Is there anything else that you guys need?"
No.
No, nothing at this time. Thank you very much.
You see that they nod their head, and they definitely kind of hold on to that business card as you make your way out. And then I believe you guys need a jerky and climbing gear.
Yes.
And just
Right.
general rations. I assume the jerky and rations will be in the same locale, most likely.
One would
Jerky
think.
is coming out of personal funds, though.
Look, everything, as they're walking, he's like, look, everything is going on the expense report because everything is a part of our journey. They can deny any particular line that they would like, but everything is going to go on the report to begin with.
Fire whiskey?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
That's
said
so-
supplies.
Is that allowable? Like they're
I
okay with-
was not given any sort of parameters,
Okay.
and therefore everything's going on the list.
Okay.
Faraday, how do you feel as this
I'm
is going
really
on?
glad.
It's the buzzing. The buzzing is back.
You guys
Like-
watch as Faraday just like loses consciousness, but then like catches herself.
She's
I'm just trying to get
walking.
us our money back. That's all.
I support you completely. I don't know what you said in the last 5 minutes, but I support you completely in it.
I think you made a business deal, actually.
Well, good for you.
Or I guess maybe a potential deal? Something that could become a deal.
Or at least made an impression enough to establish that you were here.
Multiple trains of thought.
All right. You continue exploring the bazaar, and you come upon a small tent setup, looking not too dissimilar from one.
I swear to God that he beat us here.
You see a similar tent setup. You see a mouse, but it is not the same mouse. This mouse that is behind it's like walking into a Batteries Plus. It's the same shit arranged in the same way, but just a different person behind the counter. You see that this mouse is brown with some white flecks in their fur. They are wearing an orange cloak around them, and they are decidedly pudgy. They sort of perk up. How can I help you?
We're looking for climbing gear.
Well, lucky for you, I got several sets. How many are you guys looking for?
Look to the other two. 6?
Ah,
7, in
that's
case
Seven.
Gilmore needs a set when we
yeah.
Coming
retrieved
back
him.
down. 7?
7 sets. That'll cost you Let me do the math, aka scroll through the fucking thing.
Oh god. We're gonna have one sorcerer and 2 wizards trying to climb down a mountain.
Sorcerer and the 2 wizards will be taking the potions of climbing.
We also have a potion of hill giant strength, just so.
Yes, we do.
All in all, for these sets of gears, it'll be about 56 gold pieces. Don't ask me what happened to my voice. I have nothing to tell you.
Oh, it's the air. It's that winter air.
I'll take it.
Right.
I've also got some handy dandy jerky in
Yeah.
case you
Just
need it.
finish that out. Do it.
Just finishing it out.
In fact, just
Finish it
yeah, like,
out.
You also
Jerky.
sell rations as well for
Of course.
Yep.
I sell all. His voice is just gone now. I have nothing for him.
It is
I-
fantastic to be a one-stop shop so everyone gets what they need when you're there.
Now smart.
Yeah, so we'll do like what, like get Cat
I mean-
like 3 pounds of jerky.
I mean, I'm gonna eat that jerky too. Let's be real.
Everyone
And
buys it because Arthea eats her stash.
this is true. Dried fruits would also be nice. If there's any, I don't really know what's.
You said they're like jerky, dried fruits. Like there's just this pile of food that they're getting together.
Yeah, turkey, dried fruits. I guess hard cheeses.
Jesus.
It's okay. That's fine. Yeah. What? We're gonna need about a.
Take off like 2 pieces of cheese. Sorry, that's mine.
Oh,
I gotta keep it close.
Didn't want to assume that would be racist.
I mean, we need a month's worth of food. Week and a half out, week and a half back, week in the middle for if we happen to strand
For
somewhere.
incidental.
Yeah, yeah,
For 7.
for 7.
Holy fuck, that's a lot.
We'll say that you guys get
Jesus Christ.
enough
Wait.
rations and food. What's up, Dustin?
Nothing. I was
Okay.
gonna ask who's the 7th, but then I remembered that Gilmore's coming back with us.
Theoretically, anyway, yes, that's hopefully the plan.
If he's not, then that means something else went wrong.
I will say that the total cost of the rations with the food, it's about a month. I'm gonna say like a month and a half's worth,
Yeah.
probably just to be on the safe side.
Ew, eating rations for the next 6 weeks.
We can.
Don't want
Kat
to
said
think
we can
about it.
hunt. No, Kat said that she could hunt.
I'm gonna say
No.
in
Rations
total,
are always your plan B.
you guys
Mhm.
get the food and everything itemized. It's gonna come out to about 23 gold
Okay.
for all of the food and rations and all the stuff to carry you guys through this trip, assuming
Okay,
it's gonna be about a month total.
that's fine.
Okay.
We're supplementing
that out
with
of mine.
hunted. If we're
You got it, okay.
supplementing with hunting, then like please pretend there's like a little cadriel in the back of your head going, "Get salt,
Sure.
spices."
Oh,
Listen.
yeah.
I assume that he
I actually
since
have
we're
that.
getting so
I mean,
much, do you have like a seasoning kit that could you
Yeah,
could
it
maybe
comes with every purchase.
fantastic.
That's that to the top of the pile because I have only so many merchants that I can conjure up in a single session. I'm
Sorry,
not
but the thought of bland meat like makes me want to gag.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we got spices. Also, you probably Kat has some. We probably still have some. Our cat. They're like
Yeah.
at the bottom. They're in a little bottom of the bag. They haven't been. They're being saved for that time you make like real good steak. Okay, so she's slowly just like kind of it into the bag folding.
I think that's it.
The mouse definitely raises an eyebrow and looks at the bag, but then kind of shrugs it off.
Climbing supplies. Just hold
Got
it
it.
open. You wanna?
Starts dumping, shoving.
We'll organize it later. We'll organize it before.
I mean, do you? Yeah.
Okay, so climbing supplies, jerky, fire whiskey,
Yeah.
food, rations, things to not things to keep us from not dying, or at least not dying from
I think we're good.
and from falling. Yeah, okay, I think we're good. I think we have everything.
Well, just one minor thing. If you're going out into the cold, I do have some potions that might actually help you resist some of the freezing.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
if that's a thing, we should definitely partake. How much are
Sure.
those?
They're gonna cost about 50 gold. I got 2 of them. They're potions of cold resistance.
I will take them, both of them.
Is that
Hey.
50 in total?
Each.
Hmm.
You see that they're like frozen in place, just looking at you.
He just writes it down.
They
This is going on the expense
slowly
report.
continue the motion of placing the potions on the top of the desk.
I will be back in just a moment.
Take as many moments as you like.
All right. Take those, and I will put them. I'll put those actually to the side. I'm gonna need to sort through the potions later.
You like open your jacket. There's just potions.
Got a little pouch, and it has She opens her jacket. It scrolls actually. She has a little pouch though that's got potions.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you would recommend for? Oh, I don't know. A month. Yep.
I have this prayer book if you need it, if it ever gets really rough.
Which
Yeah.
god is it for?
Oathbringer. And that's not a god. Where did my brain go?
Oh,
No,
Where did my brain go?
Darcy's like, sure, that's a god, yeah. Fucking-
Actually, it's to the Wayfarer.
Oh, I think we like that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't hurt, honestly.
Take this book that's like, it's not like emblazoned with like words of the Wayfarer. It's just a plain ass book.
That's cool.
And just sort of hands it and says, it's on the house. You guys have spent enough money.
Thank you.
thank
It
you.
just looks to she just looks to Thurston and Faraday. Honestly, I don't think it can hurt.
It's true.
We can kind
Sure.
of use all the. If you know what, if there's somebody willing to maybe keep us from dying to the endless storm, I'm all about that.
Fair enough.
Should we head to Dusk Meadow? Meet up with the
I
rest
think
of the group?
so. Yeah, pick him up, meet him there, and we can all head over to the.
Raven's Crest.
No, I was thinking dog stables again.
Ah.
So
Kennel?
No. yeah.
Dog stable.
Dog stables. Yep.
Hey, I
That's
said
what it is now.
pound, okay?
Oh yeah, we got like a mishmash of dogs in the back. There's a husky, a chihuahua.
There's a pit back there.
There's a pit back there. They'll get you through. It's fine. Just don't lose the little one. You might have to dig
There's a
around the
Chihuahua
snow every once in a
husky
while.
mix. Which is just a miniature husky.
Yeah,
Have you seen those?
Mm-hmm. Like when you cross a
the
corgi
husk
with
corgis?
anything. Yeah.
They're super cute.
Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I just want it to be known that if we bring a chihuahua with us, that's going what because those things are vicious.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
what's gonna eat us.
It would
as we're-
kill the
Like,
frost
while
giant.
I feel like while you're traveling, like the chihuahua will like leap out of somebody's hand and just disappear in the snow.
The snow. Just gone forever.
as we're walking back, can I just do like an Arcana check? Because he's like, well, he has potions that are clearly magical, but this place doesn't like arcane magic. So like, he doesn't know a lot about divine magic, but he's trying to like go through his any knowledge that he has. So maybe it's a history check. I don't know. Of like, are these the sorts of things that divine magic also creates? Like, he has a notion of like divine magic is like healing stuff.
Healing.
Do they also do this though? I don't know.
Okay. Make me an Arcana check. I like it.
16.
16. With a 16, you can actually, sort of glancing at one of the potions, Potion is the noun, but it's not a magical potion. You can actually see that it is essentially a glass bottle filled with what look like tea leaves, other sorts of herbs, everything inside there. That looking a little bit closer, it's not giving off any magical energy. It actually looks like an actual natural uh, component or combination, I should say, of several different herbs that would elicit your body heat to rise. Um, so it's not magical by any means.
Hey.
Yeah.
I don't think potion is the correct word. Perhaps tincture, but I understand now. And he just gives it back to Earth, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know
So
what?
should
That's
he-
fine. I'll take that slight shade. Thanks, Rose.
No, this is
You
just
wanna-
Thurston being like,
Yeah,
it's
Mark-
interesting the way they use language and the way we
Yeah.
use language. We use this word, it's like, I wouldn't use that word, but we use it in our way.
So
Interesting.
is it considered? Is it misleading to market it as? Is it just
No,
good?
I think it's just a different use of language in this land versus how we would use the word. You know, I don't think it's actually misleading. I think it's us misunderstanding being foreigners.
Mm. Oh. It still does the same thing. It'll keep us warm.
Kind of what I was thinking too.
It's
I was-
She's just walking
while
as
they
they're
were
just like,
talking about language and words, I look over at you and you're like,
Poor Faraday. Faraday's regretting not going to the temple.
Faraday, you use words all the time. I don't understand why you have an issue with this conversation. We all use words. This is nothing. I haven't used any numbers in this conversation.
That's true. He really hasn't.
it's very much if anybody has read the Vox Machina comic, at one point, hungover twins are sitting at the same table as Keyleth and Tiberius, and it's literally the speech bubbles are like, books, magic, books, magic, books, magic, magic. And the twins are just like, they're hungover as shit, and Vex reaches for an arrow. And Vex just puts out a hand like, not yet. Not yet.
oh.
That's just that's all Faraday hears is like, books, numbers, magic. Words, theories, just like, it's just the same thing over and over.
Oh, shit. I love it.
Do we know where we're going? Do we know where? Can I try and remember where the hell the Dusk Meadow is from like 2 years ago when I first had?
How long did each of you linger in Vasselheim?
Court,
Thurston hasn't left Tal'Dorei.
Thurston has not. We would have been here for.
Came here. We came into Vasselheim from Marquette and probably spent a little bit of time here.
You would
but-
have spent at least a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm
I
guessing.
would say
I'd say a
in
couple
those
weeks is fair.
weeks, specifically you, Arathea, if you were hanging out with Cadriel,
Oh God, yes.
I'm going
I
to go
wasn't
ahead and
allowed to wander.
assume that you guys had been to the Raven's Crest before.
I'm not allowed to wander because I'm sure that the first thing she did was probably like press the attention and just the stares from the entirety, having no idea that that's not a thing you do here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No magic.
I'll say that you guys remember vaguely where it is, and it's not that much of a challenge for you to start making your way towards Dusk Meadow.
Okay. Wonderful.
Meanwhile, in Dusk Meadow, Dermot, Cadriel, and Mako approach. They're walking through Dusk Meadow itself, and in contrast to what the Quad Roads, how populated it is, Dusk Meadow is almost naturally quiet and not very busy. You do approach the all too familiar Gothic temple to Mistress of Ravens. And you can see that there are a few bastions that are sort of making their patrols, and they kind of nod at you as you all make your way through the city. But Mako actually looks at the temple and then back at Cad and says, "Not so lively, I see. Perhaps this is more my jam, as it were."
Oh, I mean, Most people misunderstand that certain things aren't exactly scary, but they steer clear. For those of us that follow her, she provides a certain amount of shelter and comfort.
Hmm.
We should find Hogland first, as much as I would like to spend some time in the temple. That's the real purpose of coming here.
Well, I can keep an eye out on the streets if you all want to explore inside.
Uh, yeah, I will at least go in and see if they're aware of where he is. If he's a follower, I assume that the attendants are probably familiar.
All right.
Uh,
Both of you step in, and you can see it's a dimly lit chamber, which essentially is just one large walkway forward. But you can see other patrons inside that are each, having their own private means of worship as they are inside the temple. That being said, you do spot one of the followers, or rather, one of the what is the term for their um, followers? I keep forgetting.
Are you
Ravenites?
thinking acolyte?
Nice.
yeah. Yeah, I think they're just called acolytes. I don't.
Acolytes. Okay. You see an acolyte that seems to be sort of in charge at the present time. It is this elderly tiefling woman, who's got a little bit of a hunched back, but not, misshapenly so. She's got a gnarled staff in her hand as she wears the dark robes of the Raven Queen. Her antlers kind of come out and to the side a little bit, and they're a little janky towards the end. It's clear that in her long life, they've seen some wear and tear from whatever she encountered along the way. She's got a deep red skin that seems to almost ash a little bit along her nose and her cheekbones. She's got auburn hair that sort of is tucked under the robes. And she kind of glances in your direction as you both enter. Can I help you?
Gabrielle kind of grabs her amulet for just sort of like comfort. She goes, sorry to interrupt you. We were looking for a man named Hogland, and we understand that he's a follower of the Matron of Death, and we were told he lives in this general area somewhere. And thought perhaps somebody here, could point us in the right direction.
Yes, Hogland. He's a very devout follower, and I see you are as well.
Indeed.
Greetings upon you. He was in earlier. He was going through his morning worship, but I believe he did make his way towards the front gate of the city. I believe he was supposed to meet some people there. I don't really know. We briefly interacted, but he is a good boy.
Would be us, actually. We were hoping to save him some trouble of
It seems he's one step ahead of us.
yes, indeed. Well, if you don't mind.
How long ago did he leave?
Perhaps an hour, maybe an hour and a half or so.
So he's likely there already waiting for us. We should hurry, as to not keep him waiting any longer than he needs to.
She looks at Cadriel and just says, "Is everything all right?"
we're setting off on a journey, and he was helping arrange things for us in search of a friend, and he's somebody we would like to. The person we're looking for, we're very worried about. It's been a while since anybody's heard from him, and we have been trying to make haste. So that's probably why he set off so early, but
I understand. I won't keep you. I'll just say I wish you well on your journey, and I hope your friend is all right.
thank you.
Thank you. We hope so too.
Yes, I would very much like to come back here once we've settled everything.
Absolutely. The temple is always open.
And I just kind of like bow my head and just generally like take a moment, have a silent, just say in my head a couple little things, and just kind of turn to Dermot and Maka and go, we should get out of here. We've got to get all the way across the city if we want to go find him.
As you step outside, Mako is actually sort of keeping an eye on the street, so he didn't actually go inside. But as you do turn and start to leave, you do spot that there are 3 human civilians that seem to be in some sort of altercation with Mako. Mako simply is standing silently as they are hurling insults, racially inspired, in his direction. Mako, basically, you guys notice that like they start to like calm a little bit as Mako's just not giving them a reaction, and then he says, "I could kill you all without lifting a pinky. If you're quite finished, I would very much enjoy if you were to walk away."
As Mako is saying that, I am already like quickening my pace a little bit. And I am going to I imagine Dermot is a little quicker on his feet than I am, but Dermot will start hurling his own insults. You know, you throw like a pixie, pick on someone your own size. That's sort of fair. To try and not even so much make them stop or intimidate them, but just to give them pause just long enough to realize that it is this already admittedly imposing figure, although Mako may not be very big, he's not alone. That they might be biting off a bit more than they can chew.
As you start hurling the insults, I will say, do you actually say you throw like a pixie?
Oh yeah.
Okay. There's a slight pause after you finish your own insults, and one of the assholes kind of like giggles and like laughs at his friend as that insult had landed. Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Intimidation, not persuasion.
You're intimidated.
What were you trying to persuade?
Yes,
I
please
don't know.
understand. You throw like a pixie.
Intimidation.
You're like, I do throw like a pixie.
8.
8. Okay. The
I'm
3
untrained in
gentlemen,
intimidation. It's only a +5.
the 3 gentlemen sort of pause and sort of understand that the target of their insults is now flanked by 2 other adventuring types, and they slowly back off, still glaring at Mako as they leave.
Gabrielle just like shakes her head and she's just like, apparently they have nothing better to do than be assholes today.
Cujo, question out of character. What were these vagabonds throwing at
Oh, they were just talking shit. They weren't actually like
throwing shit at him?
No,
I
they're
mean,
throwing
first
in-
off, I imagine that if they were actually throwing shit at him, they'd be puddles on the floor. But okay.
the only reason they walked away alive. Mako, his behavior has not changed, has not shifted. He's not depressed or anything. He just says, business as usual. Shall we?
We
Let-
shall.
Um, we're already behind. It seems the man we were hoping to intercept has already left, and at this point is likely already waiting for us at the main gate to the city.
Well, that being said, I wouldn't mind visiting this place under less hurried circumstances, if that is all right. And he gestures towards Cad.
I look at the both of them and say, I'm sure once our business is concluded, we will have earned a few days rest, and I see no reason we can't stay in the city and take in the sights for a few days.
Indeed, I would like to spend some more time here as well. They have a decent combat pit as well.
Do they?
Indeed.
Perhaps that rematch that your friend Faraday and I keep mentioning could actually happen.
Hand to hand, as you know, they're not particularly fond of magic in here, but still quite enjoy watching that.
I would be fair, despite what you may think.
I have a hard time believing a no magic rule would impede either of you very much.
Agreed.
I third that sentiment.
Well, I guess we're heading to the city gates.
All right. We'll say for the sake of ease and
15 minutes later, we show up at Dusk
Serendipity.
Let Out.
yeah, you show up at Dusk Meadow. What do you do? No, it's all good. We know what's happening. It's all good. You guys all approach and essentially converge on the main gate, and you can see Hogland with the same two bastions. You see that they have already procured 3 dog sleds, complete with a set of 6 dogs on each. You see that they have already... I'm just going to give you the inventory that they brought with. They've included 2 weeks' rations. They included 2 sets of climbing gear. And they also included... essentially one of these dog sleds on like the storage part is filled with firewood. And it's got a little tarp covering it. To prevent it from getting wet, well, more unnecessarily wet than it already will get, I'm sure. But Hogland says, this should cover you for at least 2 weeks. I would encourage resting often, keep close to the fire. Frostbite must be treated almost immediately upon setting in. I don't do well with other sort of advice, but this should last you for a decent amount of time.
Is there food for the dogs, or is that included in the ration?
That's already included with the rations.
Fantastic, thank you.
How often should we rest?
I would say every 6 hours or so. Take about an hour for yourselves, your bodies to readjust, and then set out again.
We can do
Whatever we think may be necessary, we should rest more often than that.
that. Probably a good plan.
I agree.
Well,
Well,
I have.
good.
No, go.
I was gonna say, for my proficiency, I took land vehicles again. So I'll I assume Faraday is going to drive one of the sleds like she did last time?
Sure, she'll try.
Okay, so who's going to drive?
Cujo, what would be, if we don't have proficiency in land vehicles, what would the associated skill be?
Animal handling.
Okay, I'm plus
Uh,
3.
I'm +1.
Also +3.
Oh,
Oh, I'm +2. Didn't realize that.
okay.
Okay,
So not
Arithia
me.
and Dermot.
Thurston picked up that proficiency. He had a cat once that like didn't drive him nuts.
He's not proficient. He's just wise. That's all.
I'm not proficient either. I just have, wisdom. I don't know, not to get bit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whoever's driving, I'll kind of like, I'll be like, I'll say, I have help.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll
And Cujo, I don't know how far you would let this go or how lenient you would be, but Tick can also perform the help action for anything needed. Just to be a little bit farther than my reach would normally allow, or to be a lead dog, as it were.
I would say Tick could make that happen. Do you communicate telepathically with Tick? Or is
Yeah,
it verbal?
it's essentially Tick is essentially a familiar and
Okay.
follows all of the in all of the most important ways, unless otherwise stated. Tick follows all the same rules as a familiar.
Okay. I would say if Tick were to fly essentially in front of the dogs, and follow your commands as you are steering or turning or whatever, then that would work as the help action.
Okay.
If a skill check did come up.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. As long as Tick is in front of them, then that's fine.
Yeah.
If he's like hanging out by you, I'm not quite sure how else the help action would necessarily work.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, Tick can be my,
Rudolph.
my Rudolph.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
How
Rudolph,
appropriate.
mechanical bird.
Yes.
I mean, in theory,
Had
you
a very
could
shiny everything.
You could cast light on Tick and have a nice little light going through.
Once we're outside the city.
Yes, no, I will not be taking out Stella until there are things that are probably just better to not do. Right.
But whoever is driving, I'll convey some of at least like the basics so that they can get going of what this said spirit is explaining and conveying its knowledge upon.
Balto.
Is it Cuba Gooding Jr.?
All right. Does anyone have any other references they'd like to throw in?
Yeah.
We're on a roll. We're going for the trifecta.
No, I'm out. I'm tapped.
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry. It'll come to us.
But who is driving? You said, doesn't you have a +3?
I have a +3.
I have a +3.
Okay, well that's better than me. So.
And I guess Cat has a.
I have land vehicles, but if you think that it would be better that I should have taken animal handling, I can, with your permission, change to what?
That's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. You're good.
Okay.
All right. And well, I assume that all of our adventures this morning have only eaten up maybe an hour or two of the day.
You guys, it's still morning. It's still early enough that you have matched your schedule. All right, you all set out and find that traveling by dog sled is a little bit different than traveling by wagon or teleportation circle. It's a little bit more on the not even rickety side. It's just a different means because you essentially have to stand the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I assume that you said that one of the sleds is full up on firewood.
yes.
I assume another one of the sleds is full up on food
Yes.
and the other equipment. So we essentially need half of us to be a passenger on top of all of that equipment. Unless any of that can go in the bag of holding to make extra space.
I would say you guys would have enough room in the bag of holding if you wanted to put in the firewood.
The firewood or the fire whiskey? It
The
would keep
fire
it dry
whis-
if we put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah, I would
least.
say firewood just because. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we should get outside the city and then
We can
change things around a little bit.
Okay.
I'm actually going to ask Hoglin if there's any chance we could, just because there are 6 of us, hopefully a 7th returning with us, to get a 4th sled. It would make the travel much easier.
Give me a moment. I will arrange it with the stable master. You see, he steps inside, and you see a 4th sled. This one, the dogs look a little older, but they're still. I mean, they're still active. They're still breathing. They're still, healthy
Good.
enough, which is good.
Low bar, breathing.
Yeah. Well, just saying, you're kind of cleaning this guy out of all of his sled dogs. But
And zombies make excellent beasts of burden. I'm just saying.
so says the necromancer. Oh wait.
I'm just saying. Don't need to eat, breathe, sleep.
Anyway, you guys have your 4th sled, and Hoglin says, "Is there anything else you think you might need?"
Just making sure and looking at Thurston, cross our T's, dot the I's. Food for the 4th team.
We have plenty.
Yes.
Okay.
Hogland does glance at Thurston, kind of like look around. Wasn't there another one with you?
Looks can be deceiving.
Make a deception check.
$23.
He goes, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not
Above
going
my
to
pay-
judge or anything. I apologize.
This line of questioning is above my pay grade.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't care. I'm here to provide you services and gear. I have done this. I'm gonna go find a tavern. But I do wish you all safe travel."
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful. We certainly not in this sort of time frame, but we couldn't be as well prepared without you.
Rest often. Hydrate. Stay close to the fire. And he says that looking at all of you. May the ravens return you to us.
Thank
And
you.
He'll step away with the other bastions. All right. Do you guys officially set out?
Yes.
We officially set out.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's
All
driving the
right.
4th one?
You're
a
probably
good
best
question.
for it, Thurston.
Cool.
I guess it's up to you. Otherwise, I'll take
No.
it.
He'll say that and he'll be like,
Well,
Okay.
what is Mako's handling skill?
Like a -2. No.
you like telepathically just tell the dogs what to do?
Well, that depends, gentlemen. And you watch as the fourth sled, all of the dogs sit in unison
What?
and then all lay down.
Front door.
You were saying.
Would you mind terribly driving the fourth team?
Not at all, Dermot. And he kind of glares at Faraday. That would be fine. And he mounts the fourth dog sled. Just as Thurston was about to get on, you just feel this hand like, no. It's okay.
No resistance.
You
No
sit here in the
resistance.
front where it's safe. And don't touch anything.
It looks like you two just need to choose where you want to ride.
So we've probably got Mako's sled and the sled that had the firewood.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter. I'll climb in the one that had the firewood.
I'm already here. I guess I am riding with Mako as he like shoves me out of the way. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here
He
now.
just like,
Just
like
sit here.
lightly places his hands on your shoulders and just adjusts and
Just
puts you
leads you.
on the extra seat,
Mhm.
and then just wordlessly gets on the sled. You guys all set out, and you guys see that very quickly, traveling by dog sled a little bit faster than by horse. And you can see the city slowly disappear behind you. For the sake of time, your first 2 days go by without issue. You guys are seeing that the weather is relatively clear, but just as Core had said, you look in the distance and you can see the clouds are just like this ever rising mountain, and below you see just the worst snowstorm of a scale you've never seen before lay out in front of you. It seems to coat the entire north. To account for the next 3 days, I will need somebody to roll me a d8.
I'll do it.
Go for it.
Brave.
Just so everyone is aware and on the same page, I do still have my alchemy jug, which produces 8 gallons of water, of fresh water every day.
Nice.
So we are, unless you plan on drinking more than a gallon and some change of water every day, we are plenty hydrated.
Kuju, is this day 2 through 3? Would this be like the
So-
third day, or is this day 3 through 5?
This would be 3 through 5.
Okay.
Also, given the amount of preparation you guys did, making sure you had survival gear, firewood, rations, all of these things, I'm not even including any checks to make sure that you guys are doing the thing right, because you guys literally did your homework and consulted multiple sources, so I'm just omitting that from any sort of challenge here. This is just purely the travel now.
So one single roll
Yes.
of a d8. Okay.
No modifier or anything.
Okay. 6.
6. Actually, you know what? I was
upon by
using.
6 Tarasques.
You know what? I apologize. That was an older thing I was using. I will actually need a D100.
Okay.
100 Tarasques.
100 beholders. All pissed off because they can't fire off their rays.
And they stare at each other.
I do that one time.
Okay. It is an 87.
87. Give me a second. Why can't I? Are you fucking serious? They only had up to 54. You're oh, that's fucking annoying.
Roll again.
I can roll again.
So sorry.
That's fine.
Well, what did you roll? What did
That's
you
a.
roll?
I rolled an 87, but that's a 41.
41.
Which would have been about
Hey,
the
look at that.
same as what I would have said, which was just
it
whatever
in half.
number you rolled in
Yeah.
half.
Oh god. I don't know if that's a good or a bad face.
We're all
Mhm.
dead, actually.
That's
It's a
the face of,
Tourette.
oh, eagles come and carry you the rest of the way, Lord of the
Ah,
Rings
you
style.
fools.
Hold on.
That's the we end at 9:30 and Cujo takes a week to
No,
prep.
it's not. It's not like campaign ending. It's a
It's not campaign
it's a
ending.
cute little thing.
Going
Hold
campaign
on.
ending.
It's just party ending. It's fine.
It's
The
a cute
campaign will
little thing.
continue.
It's
Hold
fine.
on.
So next,
I have a contingency that starts in Vasselheim, so we're good.
So the snowfall starts becoming a little bit stronger as you guys venture further north, closer into the storm. And as it does, visibility starts to lessen a little bit. That being said, you guys hear bells.
Bells.
From. Bells.
Jingling.
Like, like sleigh bells?
You
In
guys
this world,
I can see
they're
bells
like.
jingling.
you guys look around and you can't see the source. I will need people to make a perception check.
I will do that.
I'm gonna
This is actually really cute, and I think it's really fucking funny that this is
fucking
happening
hilarious.
3 days before Christmas.
That's
19.
amazing. Dirty 20.
18.
19.
19.
Poor.
Poor?
I rolled poorly.
Oh,
7.
Mako also rolled poorly. With a dirty 20, you can see a single sleigh with a single white reindeer pulling through the storm to your left, maybe about 100 feet away. And it's very difficult to make out the specifics, but you mentioned to the others, you guys get a little bit closer, and as you do, you see that this sleigh is white. And there is a slender woman with her hair blown back, almost looking like it's frozen in place. And her features are lithe as she is riding this sleigh, and she turns and gestures for the reindeer to slow, knowing that you're there. What do you guys do?
Friday's on my sled, so. What is she?
Uh,
I'm
sure.
on my own sled. I don't notice her. I keep going.
Yep, I mean, Faraday will reach up and get Arthea's attention, like, and kind of point.
Stop. Go.
Does
Look
she,
up.
like, yeah, do I get a vibe from her? Like, does it...
Make an insight check. I'm going to say with disadvantage,
Disadvantage, 'cause we're
given
moving?
the surroundings and they're moving. You've never seen this
fine.
person before.
With a 19, did I know? I know the
would
bells. Did
say-
I notice Faraday
Yes.
noticing something?
Yes.
It's not disadvantaged.
Okay.
Okay, let me reroll that.
Yeah, I rolled an 18, so would I have just noticed Faraday being like, what the fuck?
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I
10.
imagine it was like, okay, Faraday saw something I want to know, so I'm like making sure she can figure it out.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
10.
10.
Not great. Sorry, guys. I ruined that.
You're not necessarily getting friendly vibes, but you're also not getting enemy vibes. You're getting indifference, and also you know that if this were an enemy, you guys have been riding close to each other for a few seconds at this point. If this woman was intending ill will, she would have already steered into you or done some sort of aggressive action, and she hasn't yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'll gesture to pull over, I guess.
Just for frame of reference, what are we all next to one another, or are we following one behind the?
That is up to you to decide. You let me know. I was under the assumption that you guys were like next to each other and just sort of going forward as one big group. But you guys could theoretically go one behind the other.
I would have
Or at least, like, two
suggested
and
that we
two.
go single file
Single file? Okay.
to hide our numbers. Actually, well, you have just like you have a team of dog sled follows the lead dog.
Right.
A group of sleds will follow the lead sled.
You rotate out the lead sled.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering,
So-
because Dermot, you said you kept going.
I would keep unless I'm behind. Yeah, I
Behind,
would.
yeah.
If I'm in the front, I'm going to keep going unless someone starts shouting at me to stop. But if I'm not the lead sled, you know,
As I notice everybody start to like
And
slow
you're in
and
front.
okay.
You be front.
As I notice everybody start to slow and like Dermot, I assume would start to like sort of catch up with me. Because if I saw Faraday noticing something, I'll just say, Dermot, wait. I'll like kind of like shout it to him. And like slow up my sled to see what's going on.
Okay. Are we just slowing or are we stopping?
I would probably follow whatever Arthia is doing since Faraday's the one that sees whatever it is she sees. So if I see them stop, then I would pull my sled to stop as well and probably kind of go, what's going on?
Because I'm imagining, a dog sled only has like 2 speeds.
Yeah,
Stop and
full
go.
on and
Yeah.
yeah.
So if we're slowing, we're probably stopping.
We're kind of pulling together, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. But yeah, I'll defer to whatever the group is doing. If we're just trying to shore up the gaps between our sleds and try and stay together, then I'll just do that.
Okay. You guys sort of shift and eventually come to a slow stop. And as you do, that white sleigh kind of slowly starts to approach. And you can start to see this woman more clearly. Everybody can see this at this point. Her skin looks as though she has been frozen solid. It's just painfully pale. Her features her lips almost look like they have that cool blue, purplish color to them. And she's wearing this beautiful, if sort of off-putting, white dress. And she eventually signals for the reindeer to stop, and almost with but a gesture, it slows until it stops. And she turns towards you and says, "Well, hello. Strange to find travelers out here. Would you like something to eat?"
Insight.
Go ahead and roll insight.
You're the only person we've really seen since departing. Yeah, no, definitely insight then.
I'll
Alrighty.
What is that? Not good.
11.
Okay.
Not good.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay.
23.
I'll just put that aside.
I don't feel bad anymore.
It's a 23 total,
okay.
but natural 20.
So, anything under a 20. She is difficult to read, obviously a little off-putting. You're not quite sure if you're not quite sure what her motivation is by offering something to you. But with the natural 20, You can get the idea that she is excited that she has encountered travelers. And the prospect of offering something is essentially her means of beginning a conversation to offer something to you, besides the food. She looks anxious to speak about something. And perhaps her off-putting behavior and delivery of her offer, she doesn't want to chase you off. She wants to speak with you.
I'll make sure that the dogs are kind of settled on the sled that I'm driving, and then I'm not sure how long the reins are on these things. So I'll kind of I'll step off of it, but not too far away because I don't want them to take off with all the stuff, and just say, we appreciate the offer. I think that we're okay for now, but I don't think any of us would be opposed to some tea if you...
Oh, no tea, unfortunately. I only have Turkish Delight.
I think we've recently eaten breakfast. I don't think it's... I don't think I could take any more food myself, but the offer is appreciated, and I'm sorry I didn't catch your name.
You know, that is actually a good point. I do not remember that character's name. That's terrible. Well, not terrible, but...
I don't think she has.
He does.
Does she?
She does. It's Jadis.
Yeah. A nice name.
Yeah.
It is Jadis.
I see, and you're just out here alone? Your sled is very beautiful.
Thank you. I'm actually in search of one who might assist me, and in return, they'll receive a kingdom.
Is everybody else hearing?
Yes, she is being 100% open and honest. Even Mako just like leans towards Thurston and be like,
Are we really speaking with the creepy ice lady?
I'm not
I'll say,
the creepy ice lady. They are.
I'll call out to them. I don't want to get off my sled because my arms are short and I don't know. I know full well that if I let go of the sled for a moment, my team is gone. But I'll just say that a kingdom is a tempting reward, but our time and efforts are currently promised elsewhere, unfortunately.
Well, just know the offer stands open for as long as you wish to consider it. It is quite vast, the lands that I promise, and the task that I would place before you is relatively simple.
What would this task be? Just hypothetically, if we were to consider it.
There is a creature, a lion, that you must slay for me.
That's right. That's fucking right.
A lion up in these lands?
No. He wouldn't dare step into my lair. Last I knew, he ventured southward. Believe you call it Marquette.
Cujo.
Yes.
Triggered by the fact that she referred to this area as her lair, as opposed to realm, kingdom, territory, home, anything else. She used layers specifically.
She chooses her words very carefully.
Is there an Arcana, history, some kind of check that I can make to determine who or what this woman is?
Make me. Oh God. Lore's bleeding together. Make me a. I guess you know what? Make me a religion check. I'm gonna say with disadvantage.
Okay.
My
Just
spidey
pick a
senses aren't
man.
pinging off at all.
No, they would not.
Pick a man while he's down.
Always, if it's you.
Rude.
Well, the higher of the two rolls was a 6. But my total is 6. 4 plus 2.
You are trying to think through any possible, storytellers you'd heard or urban legends or anything like that. The name Jadis and any creature matching this description before you doesn't ring any bells.
Why can't we be playing 3rd edition when Bardic knowledge is a thing and bards just know everything all the time?
Because that's really difficult to impose a challenge knowledge-wise.
That's the sage background, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. God.
Bards were so broken back then. I miss it.
But the offer stands open. And her eyes sort of hover on Faraday for a moment. You seem intriguing.
I can say the same for yourself.
We could get along very swimmingly.
Don't doubt that. Unfortunately, right now we cannot take you up on your offer.
Well, if you were to ever reconsider, just call out my name 3 times, and I shall be yours to converse with.
I will keep that in mind.
She regards all of you with a little nod. And still with that smirk, that mostly unreadable smirk other than Cadriel with her natural 20. She gestures for her reindeer to start moving once again. And soon you see her disappear into the snowfall in the distance.
Does she appear human? Like,
Yeah, she had humanoid features. Her ears...
I was thinking
I
like
will
Winter
say-
Faraday.
I will say
Comparison.
that, and I'm going to kind of go with my own interpretation of what the White Witch kind of looks like, or kind of like taking the movie inspiration and mixing it with more fantasy shit. She had mostly humanoid features, but her ears actually did the long points out a little bit more. And her eyes were ice blue. Gonna go ahead and mark in my notes that Jadis, the white fucking witch, is in this world. Thanks, random generator.
And we can call it her at any time
Yep.
we want.
Yep.
For a
Fucking
deal.
Beetlejuice or
pulling a
some shit?
Beetlejuice on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Candyman? Like, what the hell?
Seriously.
We'll save it for when it's like middle of summer and it's really hot. Just have her. Just give me some AC.
Yes, I.
She just melts.
Yeah, oh God.
Deal's off. Never mind.
Like,
Yeah, that's probably an issue.
Alright.
Is that some? I'm gonna turn to Faraday. Shit.
Oh, your mic was cutting out again. I'm sorry.
Oh, stupid Discord.
I got what you meant. I got what you meant. I didn't get anything from her, but it felt like it. I feel like taking a deal from that particular woman is a very bad idea.
Okay. Well, we should definitely make it a point to not do that, and maybe, yeah. So I guess if we need help down the line, she did say she'd come if we called her name.
3 times.
3 times. Just in case. I mean,
You know, in my experience, the people who just come when you call their name 3 times are not generally the people you want to converse with.
Or make deals with.
Hey, they could be a lot of fun. I mean, says the dog.
Like, what the fuck?
And the dog talks now? Jesus.
Yeah, Mako couldn't have said that. It had to be the dog.
It wasn't in the Mako voice. Anyway,
it's actually just a druid.
you can mark down that you have fucking Jadis as a contact if you want. That's up to you. If you want to pursue that, I will totally figure out how to make it work in this campaign somehow.
Which kingdom you giving away, buddy?
No, I've read the Chronicles.
I don't know.
We should definitely not do anything with a kingdom. I think that goes against too before we came here.
Yeah, I think we'd break a whole lot of international laws if we did this.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I mean,
This is not what Allura has meant when she said keep a low profile.
Come back. Here's Gilmore, and here's this
We kind
kingdom.
of have this kingdom now,
We kind of have a
so
kingdom
bye.
We
killed the
accidentally
celestial
conquered
lion.
an entire.
We
We
slaughtered a
accidentally
celestial
conquered
lion
an
and,
entire
yeah,
kingdom.
then got
So-
a kingdom.
I don't fancy going to Marquette again, so I'm out for that mission, guys.
I don't remember there being a lion in Marquette, but I guess I didn't really travel. Well, I didn't really travel much of anywhere.
I mean, I traveled all over Marquette, and I don't recall there being a lion in Marquette either. I mean, maybe she was just pulling a location out of her ass.
Okay, well,
Wonder where you got that thought from.
I don't know.
IDK, my BFF Jill.
That's actually where the lion is.
Yeah.
Got an umlaut though over the O.
Leon.
So,
Alright.
well, shall we get back on the road?
Yes.
How long have we been at it today?
That
So
was,
far in this
at that
span.
point, it was about midday when that encounter had happened.
Okay.
I'm sorry, was that
We-
day 3, 4, 5?
This
I know you
is
said it
day
was like during
5,
3.
I guess.
We'll do day 4 when that happened,
Okay.
but otherwise, the other 2 days, nothing else really comes up.
Well, if it's midday, should we take a short rest then?
Yes.
I suggest we put a little bit of distance between us before we stop for any extended period.
Perhaps go for another hour or so, and then
That sounds like a good idea.
Right.
give my lead dog a scritch behind the ears and just say, hop back on. Give him the command word.
All right. I will say again, sake of time, you guys are able to find a decent camp. You're taking your short rests. You're taking care of yourselves.
Blood dogs. Yip yip.
Who else would like to make a roll for the next 3 days?
Percentile.
Yes.
I'll roll this time. Seven.
Oh, okay. As you guys press forward, the snowfall plus the wind starts making for an ugly set of travel conditions. As you all are trying your best to push your way through, your progress is heavily impeded. Over the course of those 3 days, you make enough progress to account for 1. as the snow and the sleet and the wind start really kicking into high gear. I will also have everybody make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, good.
I will
This
say,
is-
Thurston, you get advantage on this
Yeah.
because of your coat.
14.
Okay.
Miss Jackson.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
17.
Okay. 5. Okay. Faraday. As you guys are pushing hard. Oh, shit. Yeah. As you guys are giving everything you have over these next couple of days, you are pushing yourself beyond your limit. For whatever happens in the next 3 days, you're going to be dealing with a point of exhaustion, as this is going to take an extended rest, actual rest, to get through. And we'll do one more for the night ends. Who wants to roll it?
Sure. I'm
Okay.
a scared, but okay. Sorry, just making sure I didn't pick up like the percentile in a D8 or something stupid. Well, it's a 73, and you said it only goes up to like 50, right?
Yeah, like 54.
Okay, I do again.
I will have to look into a different thing next time.
We'll just take
Wow, my
the
dice are dicks, because now it's 55.
54 it is.
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys are again back on the trail, the blizzard that is very quickly ramping up in intensity lessens just a little bit, so you can actually make some progress. As you do, or as it does, I should say, and as you continue forward, who is leading? Cad? Okay.
I mean, you said it's been what, like 3 days since the
And
last
this-
time?
Yes. So at this point, let's see. You did 2 days was good. 3 days, so that was day 5. Those were good.
5.
Day
6
6 through 8.
7, 8, which only accounted for 1 day of travel. And then now this is essentially the last stretch before you actually get to the base of the mountain range.
9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of assume we would have switched up by now, but
Okay.
I can roll.
Who yeah, go for it. You guys let me know who would be in for
I rolled a 1, so that's me then, I guess.
Okay.
It was me, Dermot, Arthea, and Mako 4.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Cadriel, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
okay.
I will say, now, real quick, the proficiency that you picked up, did you pick up proficiency in ground vehicles or proficiency in animal handling?
I did land vehicles.
Land vehicles? Awesome.
Yeah.
And you should already be trained in dex saves, so go ahead and roll as well.
Okay. 16 plus 7.
Okay.
So 23.
Okay. As you are traveling forward, you see the ground ahead, which for the most part has been smooth. It's been weird though, because it's like navigating through desert. There are just hills of snow, pure snow, that are starting to build up as this blizzard continues to just rage through. So as you are coming over the crest of one of these hills, you see that in front of you the snow drops out, and you quickly pull on the reins and steer the dogs away from the hole. Who is immediately behind Cadriel?
Mako.
Mako, okay. Doop-a-doop-doo.
Fucker's gonna just let the sled go into the hole and fly away and leave me there.
Mako sees Cad take a hard right and tries to also steer the dogs to do the same. Unfortunately, given that some of these dogs are on the older side, takes them an extra second to get that command, even with the yank of the reins. And as he does, some of the dogs like slip a little bit as they move past the hole, and one of the tracks on the sled itself dips in, and you guys are wedged. Everybody else, I'll say, seeing this take place before you, know to pull back on the reins. Thurston, you're going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as that wedge surges you forward and you hit hard onto the ground below. Essentially, it's like a mini crash that just takes place, and you are knocked prone.
Can I roll perception to see if I notice that since they're behind me?
I will say you were close enough. You guys have been
Okay.
very good at staying close enough together.
Okay.
That you know and you hear it too. Mako surges forward and maintained his balance, but there's the sort of wooden piece that's in front that's where he kind of holds on to, just buries itself in his stomach for a second, so he definitely has the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, I'll
We're gonna
stop
pull
my
up and
I'll stop my sled and I'll bring it back around and then stop it and hop off, and I'll, since Thurston is on the ground prone, I'll go up to him first and try to just, are you okay? Mako, are you okay?
Yeah. Ow. He's rubbing his head. Or smacking himself.
I'm gonna,
Oh,
I guess.
Yeah, I'll
pull up
offer
and
Thurston a
inspect
hand
the
up.
sled.
Yeah, Tick is going to flutter over, and each of them are going to get a cure wounds at 2nd level.
Okay. As that happens, the cure wounds does go off, so go ahead and do your healing.
Good old Tick, always helping us out.
Mako gets 4 points of healing.
Okay.
Thurston gets 11 points of healing.
Nice. As Tick releases the spell, I forgot that I made Tick's voice. Hold still, please. I am healing you. We just get healing based off of those words.
If that is Tick's only option for a voice, on some day I probably just remove the speaker.
You sure? Because I really liked that time where I was like, I am told this is pleasing to human ears. Don't take this from me. As Tick finishes healing, you guys hear in the distance the howl of wolves and movement through the snow. As you guys look in the direction of the sound, you see several large yetis charging through the snow towards you. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Look.
Yup. Yup.
Merry Christmas, you get Yetis.
Yep. Merry Christmas.
Christmas,
You
You know,
get a
there's
present from
I
the right
wanted the
queen.
thermos, tumbler kind of Yeti. You
Oh.
seem to have misunderstood what I was trying to
Yeah,
articulate.
we needed the kind that
Oh,
keep your
sorry.
drinks cold, not the kind that we fight.
The amount of tabs I have open right now, just from this session alone, is ridiculous.
Hashtag DMing.
Yeah,
DMing.
seriously.
Fine.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some Yetis and some wolves to fight. It's gonna be great.
Yay.
Maybe we'll
Well.
just make friends with them.
Does
Maybe
Faraday
they,
still have
maybe they want to
exhaustion?
trade, okay? Maybe not the wolves, but like the Yetis.
Ew.
I assume so.
How long does Faraday have the exhaustion for? Since
It will be at the end of this next
yeah,
track.
you should. Okay.
Yeah.
It's ability
Alright.
checks, so
This is true.
fingers crossed.
We just have to flank. We just have to flank. We've got it.
Hmm. Well, to everybody who tuned in, thank you so much. We
Yes.
love you all. Happy holidays from us
Yes.
at Nerd House Tabletop.
Yes.
CC Dragons. We love you all. Be nice to each other. Be jolly. Treat each other with love.
Be merry.
Be merry. And we will see
You
you.
can be grumpy if you want.
This is
It's
true.
okay to be
You
a
can be
Be a
grumpy.
Grinch. Be a Grinch.
Be a Grinch. You know what? Be a Grinch. That's cool. But we will see you next week for more Decisions and Dragons.
Yes.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.